How to scale your marketing agency from zero all the way to $65,000 per month with cold email. If that's something that you're interested in, I'm about to share a free masterclass that I did for my private students on how I scaled my marketing agency to that level with cold email.
So we originally met at JR's event in Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a year ago.
It was you and Marcos or Marcus?
Marcos.
Marcos.
Everyone calls him Marcus, so it's all good.
Yeah.
You know?
And what stood out to me about your story is that like you're based out of Colorado. I think, was this like 2 months after you quit your job, or are you still in the process of, or what was that?
No, this was definitely like 6 to 8 months into the agency, maybe even a little bit more, like 9 or 10 months into the agency. At this point, we were at like $50K a month.
Yep.
And this is when we were crushing cold email and really starting to pump it out. And dude, that mastermind was amazing. There were some big A players there.
Yep.
That have just grown like crazy in the past year. So
well, you 5x'd in less than 12 months.
Yeah. And I'd say there's also more happening outside the scenes. So it's probably even more like 7x, you know?
That's crazy. That's so effing cool. And I remember you and I were like spitballing this. You're like, you've made it big when you have to scroll through your client's list. Like, you've got like on like Google Sheets, and you had to start scrolling. You're like, yes, I've made it for real. Right.
Dude, it's so funny because like, this is a story I haven't actually told you. When I met you, I thought every single person in your Facebook group was part of a membership site.
Yeah.
And then one day you like reached out and I was like, yo, how's the membership site going? And I thought you were doing like some 9 figures.
Yeah.
I thought you had like 37,000 people as part of a membership. And I was like, dude, this guy's next level. Like,
and I'm just chatting to you like I'm no big deal. Like, hey, how you doing? I drive a Honda Civic. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I was like, dude, membership site for 30,000 people. That's nuts.
That would be amazing. But
so guys, Jeff is launching a membership site.
No,
he's not. No, he's not. He's not. He's not. I'm just messing around. He's not.
Yeah, it's so funny. We've got some familiar faces, by the way. We've got Mackenzie, Ryan Wilkes, Motion, based out of Canada. Sean, Dave, Matt, Tony, Martin. Just met him over in Tampa, Orlando. Just kidding. Jack McCarthy apparently is driving. Craig, Ali, guys, I can't go over through everybody's names, but I'm super happy everyone is here. The basic structure, by the way, I am recording this. So unlike the previous recordings, make sure you're wearing a shirt. That has been a problem in the past. And just FYI, yeah, everybody's laughing. But one of the master classes, yes, actually.
It was me, guys.
It was actually Joel. Yeah, it actually happened. But let's kick this off. Let's get this party started. Joel, when we do the screen share, I'll handling the back end, the comments, all that stuff. But like always, I don't have any cold emailing background. So if I do ask questions, it's probably because it's coming in through the Zoom chat or the Facebook chat, or I obviously have no idea why. It will just be.
I would rather, I don't know how you like to do this, but I would much rather you jump in and ask for clarification if something I said does not make sense.
Perfect. You got it. So ladies and gents, this is the cold emailing masterclass. For everybody watching, wherever you're based out of, whether you're inside the United States or outside the United States, we all have the same challenge and the same problem, which is these thoughts just pop into our head. So just kind of take a step back and sit back and be like, all right, have I ever thought of this? Have you thought, how am I supposed to get a client if I don't already know of anyone that wants Facebook ads, already has a business, or is ready to spend money on marketing? How do I approach, talk to, or find people that could be good clients if I don't have the time to visit people in person, spend hours cold calling, or thousands of dollars to spend on ads? How many of you have ever thought, what am I supposed to do so I can consistently get clients interested in my services, buying what I have to sell, if I'm too busy actually fulfilling the services that I've already sold? And believe me, ladies and gents, it's not your fault, because the cost of advertising get a client from Facebook, well, it's higher and more competitive, more complex than ever before. And everyone else out there is just trying to sell you some difficult, complex, or complicated courses and formulas instead of simply showing you what already works. And you're losing your opportunity to build an agency that fulfills your dreams, and nobody is simply giving you the blueprint on how to get real-life business owners raising their hands and at least talking to you about your Facebook ad agencies. What if you could say, I clicked a button, waited 24 hours, and got 3 appointments with people that are wanting to hear about what I can do for them? What if you could say, I now have a consistent and repeatable way to get real life business owners interested in buying what I have to sell? What if you could say, I lost a client, but I'm not worried because I know I can get 10 to 15 people every single month in any niche that I want to ask me about my Facebook ads agency. If you could say that, would that help you build a Facebook ad agency that helps you accomplish your goals? What if I could show you the prospecting engine behind a Facebook ads agency that went from $0 to $65,000 a month, and that works without spending any money on Facebook ads? What if I could show you how another real life Facebook ad agency owner gets 3 to 5 appointments every single week with future clients from across the country without meeting them in person or bugging them with cold calls? What if I could show you how they set it all up, what they say so people show up, and how to do it so it runs automatically? Would that change your agency for the better? This is the cold emailing masterclass. And today, Joel's going to show you an already proven to work process that got him and will get you 3 to 5 appointments a week with future and potential clients. Today, Joel's going to show you the tech setup, the behind the scenes view, and the right way to set it all up so you're up and running in about 24 hours. And today, Joel's going to show you the proven templates that he uses time and time again to get business owners interested in scheduling an appointment, stopping no-shows, and how to scale it without getting banned. Joel started running his Facebook ad agency while still having a full-time job as a software engineer out of Colorado. He and Marcos, that's Joel's business partner, worked full-time at their jobs while building their agency on the side. They didn't have the time or money to schmooze and booze, do in-person networking, or even have the money to do paid Facebook ads. They had to find a better way. And since that day, they've grown their Facebook ad agency so much they both quit their day jobs, went full-time with their agency, and have grown from $0 to $250,000 a month with 150 plus clients. Is that correct, Joel? 150 clients all across the country. Oh, wait, you're unmuted. There you go.
I accidentally muted myself, and then I've been trying to talk this whole time. And I'm like, I guess I got to wait. Quick little insight there. I actually was a marketer, not a software engineer. I'm so sorry if I, for some reason, at some point said software engineer.
Yeah.
I do not want that out there on the internet because I cannot code for the life of me. I tried learning Ruby on Rails one time, and I almost I started reading philosophy books after that.
Immediately,
It's like, what is the meaning of life after this? But yes, $250,000 a month. We have over 150 clients, multi-seven-figure agency.
Very, very cool. With that introduction, Joel, I'm going to stop sharing. I want you to start sharing, and you're going to take over. Like I mentioned before, you're going to walk us through it. Ladies and gents, if you have any questions, use the Zoom chat, and I will be integrating those questions in the conversation I have with Joel. But I'm coming in with zero background. I've never sent a cold email in my life. This will be all new for me. I'm recording the whole darn thing, and we'll make sure everybody's taken care of. So, Joel, you ready?
Yep.
All right. Do that screen share.
All right. So today we're going to talk about how to send 500 to 1,000 emails per day, book 3 to 5 appointments per week, and never have to pay for new clients ever again. How are you guys feeling today? I can't hear you, but if you guys can give me a little some sort of action, so I know you guys are here with me and excited because I am so freaking pumped to show you guys this system. That'd be awesome. So why should you listen to us? At this point, we've done over 1.9 million in revenue for our agency, actually processed 1.9 million. We have not just hit 83K a month once like all other seven-figure agency owners that say they're a seven-figure agency. We've actually processed in our bank account 7 figures almost twice now, up until today.
Such a big number. Well done.
So guys, I want to be that guy, and my lawyer is starting to get really upset for me being that guy. But I am on a personal mission to take down every single guru on planet online marketing. And in order to do that, I'm literally going to do what no one else is willing to show you so that you guys know that this stuff is not fluff. It's actually coming from someone that practices what they preach. So let me go ahead and walk into mint.com. You guys see it right there. I'm going to click sign in. I'm going to head over to trends. And guys, there is our growth for our agency. So right when I met Jeff, it was like around here.
Yep.
And now our best month, we did $270,000.
That's crazy.
So guys, I'm not showing this to brag, although it is kind of a humble brag. I'm showing this so that as we go through this, you all feel like this guy actually is backing up what is coming out of his mouth. So as you guys can see here, the total is 1922. So when you guys see, this right here, it's actually accurate. My best revenue month, my agency revenue to date, and it's actually out of date now. It's 1922. So we've added a few $1,000s since yesterday. But we've actually processed over 7 figures almost twice now. At this point, I also have what I like to call the 4-hour work week agency. What this means is that I only work on the agency if I want to actually work on it. I delegate for an hour a day, Monday through Friday with my team. And outside of that, I only work on big projects that I want to work on. So that's another reason why you should actually listen to me today. We have over 150 clients with one single ad doing over $250K a month. And on top of coaching this to you guys, I still also run an agency. I don't just coach full time. I actually still run my agency, although I don't have to work too much unless I want to, but I still have one. It's still in existence. It's still growing. So again, most importantly, I've been where you are. I didn't just inherit an $100,000 a month agency like you guys can see here. We were doing 3,000, 2,000, 7,000, 14,000, back to 6, back to 12, back to 8. I was right where you guys are at. The whole up and down, the yo-yo effect, the agency that never is consistent. I was there with you guys. And as you can see, this was 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months. Not even breaking. It literally took us, I guess we broke it once, but then it really was hard for us to break past that 10K plateau. And now we are where you guys want to actually be. So again, when I teach you guys this stuff, the biggest reason why you should listen to me is because I didn't inherit someone's agency. I didn't just start paid ads and crush it. I actually cracked the code on how to go from here, where you guys are at, to about here, which is that 65K a month mark. And then again, later in the future, Jeff and I will do another masterclass on how to explode it. But first, you got to build a foundation.
Yep.
A little bit about me. I'm going to be shouting out my Instagram because I'm trying to grow it as much as possible. I told Jeff I will not pitch today, but I will pitch my Instagram. So if you guys want to take a quick minute to go follow me at official Joel Kaplan, that's going to be the only pitch today, my friends. That is literally the only pitch today. Whip out your phones right now. Go follow me. Now that you know who I am, Mackenzie, I see you still on the computer, no phone. I see you laughing. I don't know what you're doing. There it is. So yes, I'm going to be shouting that out throughout. But I went from 9-to-5 job. So I hated my 9-to-5 job. I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I delayed for a few years. So I didn't just start off as a successful entrepreneur. I actually was working in a 9-to-5. There's also a story that I like to tell, which is pretty vulnerable. And I'm not just being vulnerable because that's like the thing to do. This is an honest, true story. In these 6 months, or these 10 first few months, there were 3 different occasions. There were 3 different occasions where I almost quit and gave up. And actually one time I almost, well, I actually did. I didn't almost. I filled out a job application and I applied for a job and they denied my interview. And then I remember calling my dad and I was like, Dad, what should I do? Like, I don't know if I should get a job. I don't know if I should keep going and do this entrepreneurship thing. He's like, look, Joel, they denied you the interview. Like, you're extremely talented. This is a sign. It was kind of a weird thing that they said no, especially because I knew them. It was actually a company here in Denver called Moonshot Adventures. If you guys want to look them up, I'm not lying. I could even pull out the video that I sent them. They were like, Joel, we absolutely love you, but we can't bring you on right now. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to just stick with it for another few months. Again, this was like around here. And literally within those next few months, things started to look up and improve. And the reason I share that story, again, is because I'm just like you guys. It's not like I'm this perfect person that is, removed of any struggle or any pain or any hardship. Like I almost gave up 3 different times. And now we're doing $250,000 plus, and that's the new normal for us. So I want you guys to truly believe from the bottom of your hearts that this is possible. And someone actually in the Facebook comments asked me, Joel, did you just plan to hit 250K? Yes, as we were growing, I commanded it because I started believing fully that it was 100% possible. So again, the reason I share this is just so you guys understand me a little bit more. And so when you follow me on Instagram at official Joel Kaplan, you guys have that little backstory. Like I said, I've also cracked the code on agency freedom. I have a team of 10 people. They pretty much do all of the actual work from setting up the campaigns all the way to dealing with client issues, sales, everything. And then last but not least, my philosophy in life, just so you guys know, is to make money and make a difference. I believe that they go one and one together. And when we make money and grow financially, we're able to have a greater impact on people. It's not one or the other. And my mission is to get as filthy rich as humanly possible and change everyone's lives. So, Jeff, that was my own little intro. I didn't know you were going to be introing me because I like to break the rules, and I didn't watch your Loom video that you sent me.
I've done that like 12 times already. I was like, do this, don't do that, do this, don't do that. You're like, nah, I'm going to do whatever I want.
I'm sorry, guys. How are you guys feeling so far? I wish I could hear some of you guys. Good? Thumbs up? Yes? Cool. So where you are and where we will take you. So right now, you guys are literally these people on the left. I don't know if I should make this bigger. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. You guys right now are literally the people on the left. And what I mean by this is you're planting seeds, AKA starting conversations with business owners one by one. You're literally, most of you guys are sending out 1 email at a time, or maybe you're doing woodpecker and sending out 50. I want to help all of you guys build the ultimate machine that literally plants all the seeds on the entire farm all at once, every single day. And it's working for you without you having to actually show up. You're going to put your virtual assistant in there, in that little truck. They're going to drive the little machine. They're going to plant thousands of seeds, AKA starting conversations with business owners without you having to actually show up and steer the horse. So, Jeff, does that analogy make sense? I wanted to go for it and see what would happen, but
you know, I've never done any farming in my life whatsoever, and I kind of like don't going outside because it's hot and sweaty. So I'm just gonna say, yeah, that totally makes complete and total sense. Yeah, it's great.
Dude, I've never farmed in my life, but I thought that I thought that picture was like pretty badass. Like, you guys are driving you guys are literally manually getting a horse, sending out 1 video at a time, starting 1 conversation at a time. I'm going to teach you guys how to do 500 to 1,000 conversations per day.
Perfect.
So again, we're going to go from manual prospecting to a full-blown prospecting machine that plants thousands of seeds per week, and you can automate and delegate to a VA. That's the plan. So let's dive in. But first, we have to go over the 10 cold email commandments. And again, a lot of people asked, what are the mistakes that people make with cold email? These are the mistakes. So if you guys don't understand these core principles, there's going to be a lot. I can give you guys all the templates. I can give you guys all the strategies, but you guys will still fail. So number 1, the goal is not to book an appointment. And this is probably the hardest one to actually overcome. The goal is not to book an appointment with cold email. Most of you guys are like, how do I book appointments with cold email? I know for a fact because that's been 90% of the questions. The goal with cold email is to get a positive response, get someone to essentially bite on your bait and use that as leverage to warm call them. Use that as leverage to warm call them.
So that's been the mistake this whole time, trying to assume that like, hey, I just learned cold emailing, magically people with my calendar. It's like, no, that doesn't work anymore, right? You have to get the response and then take a next step, right?
Yes. This is why I put it number 1. And I don't know if we need to skip right to number 8, but I'm kind of beating it like a dead horse. You get a response, you call the emails, and you follow up. What do? You get a response, you call the emails, and you follow up again. What do? You repeat steps 1, 8, and 9.
Yep.
So guys, I see a lot of people want extraordinary results without taking extraordinary action. You want to hide behind your computers, which I totally understand. I'm not saying this is easy. Again, I used to get scared picking up the phone myself. Like, I'm not saying it's easy, but if you can do what most people aren't willing to do, you're going to get results that most people normally don't get. And by that, I mean sending out a cold email and actually picking up and starting the conversation. So we actually shifted our entire mindset around cold email from, hey, how can we use cold emails to generate appointments, to how can we use cold emails to get past the gatekeeper every single time and reach the decision maker.
And when you say warm call, you mean like as soon as you get a response, then you actually call the business?
Correct.
Gotcha.
Any questions on that one? That's probably a very, very important one. I don't know if anyone wants to put them in the chat, or I can just keep going. Oh shit, there's like 37 in the chat. I don't know if we'll be able to tackle all of them.
So let me ask you this then. So when you're sending out these cold emails, right? And I get a response saying like, yeah, I'm interested. How do you get that number? Is it your VA? What does that look like?
Well, that's where the perfect golden email comes into play.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
We'll talk about that in just a second. So next thing's up, number 2, you got to keep them short. I see a lot of people, for example, let me actually flip it around. You guys are mainly agency owners. If I sent you a whole essay being like, oh, I can help you with this and I can partner with you and provide your clients with SEO, Facebook ads, like you guys know those emails that are like a paragraph long.
Yep.
You will never, not only will you literally close it in a heartbeat, you're never even going to actually read the whole thing. But if I emailed you, I can help you land 10 new agency clients next week. Give me a quick yes if you're interested. I guarantee you, all of you will read the email because it's short, it's right to the point, and a good number of you will respond. Mm-hmm. So that's a good foundational principle. And again, I'm going to give you guys the template that we use. But the reason I'm teaching you guys the frameworks is because eventually the template will dry out. And you need to be willing to innovate. And I want you guys to know these frameworks so that you can make it your own, because that's when you get the greatest ROI in anything. All right. But at the very least, like I think the people in this masterclass, they're still 100% going to get amazing results with the template. But if this gets leaked online somewhere, and we see it all over the internet, I can't make any guarantees there. All right. Next up, we want to keep them curious, but also be a bit vague. So we actually don't want to disqualify them by giving them so much information before speaking. So for example, let's say you actually meet someone. So let's say I go to JR's event, like, hey, Jeff, nice to meet you. My name's Joel. And I start telling you everything about me and just like literally word vomiting onto you. You're going to be like, dude, this guy is nuts. Let me go talk to someone else. And I probably still do that to a certain extent, in real life. But the point is this: when you like give them so much, you're essentially giving them all the potential ammo they need to disqualify you.
Yep.
But if you keep it very short, keep them curious and keep it vague, it's going to be like, hey, Jeff, my name's Joel. What do you do? You're just starting a conversation. They don't really know, but you're starting that conversation. That's all this is. This is the ultimate way to start conversations with business owners at scale. Next thing's up, we're not giving them what they want. So what do I mean by that? I see a lot of people emailing and being like, I can run Facebook ads for you and generate leads. That is not what business owners want. If you approach a business owner and say, I can do Facebook ads and SEO and Google ads and generate lots of leads for you, I guarantee you they're not going to be as interested as if you say, hey, you're an HVAC owner. I guarantee I can get you 5 to 10 new cooling jobs this summer for AC repairs. Mm-hmm. That's interesting. Or if I said to you, hey, agency owner, I can generate 10 leads for you. Because we're agency owners, we might be more open to it, but it's not going to be nearly as sexy as, hey, Mr. Agency Owner, I can literally guarantee 10 booked appointments with qualified businesses ready to buy from you. That's more interesting. That's what I want. So I think a huge mistake that people make is not actually giving them what they want in the email, and instead just selling. You guys are selling the airplane ride, instead of the destination, instead of the margarita at the beach with a beautiful sunset in Costa Rica where you can see the full sunset every single night. So we want to give them what they want. Another mistake that people make is we make the barrier way too high. So for example, watch my VSL. Then you're going to book a call with me. Then you're going to fill out an application. You know, and it's like very complicated. Whereas we noticed with cold email, the simpler, the dumber, the easier it is for people to just initiate a conversation. That's the goal, to start a conversation and get a response. The easier we can make that for people, the more results you're going to get. So for example, reply yes with your best number.
Yep.
So a lot of people ask, how do I get the number? You just ask for it. Reply yes with the best number to reach you. Reply yes with your best cell phone number. That makes it very easy. Then all people have to do for your email. So for example, Jeff, let's say I sent you an email and I said, Jeff, I can guarantee you 10 booked appointments with bike shops. I know you like bike shops.
Yep.
Next week. Give me a quick yes with your best number if you're interested.
I've replied yes to with my phone number before to those emails, by the way. Yeah, they work on me.
And it's like, it's so how long would it take you to respond?
Like 15 seconds. And now they've got me either my phone number or we're texting or chatting. And now I'm on the conversation with them or on the phone versus like, hey, why don't you watch this 45-minute VSL and then schedule time? It's like, oh my God, like you're opening yourself up to so many ways that I can say no versus just actually the last guy that I wrote a big check to, this is how he did it. Just like this. He's like, just say yes to your phone number and we'll talk. Talk to them while I was stuck in rush hour traffic 2 weeks ago. Yep.
Guys, I've literally tried. At this point, I've probably sent over 100, probably even more than 100,000, like 500,000 emails, because I also used to do this as a service for other agencies. At this point, I am, without any doubt in my mind, 100,000 million% confident that if you do some crazy long email, it's just not going to work. But if you keep it super short, right to the point, give people a very, very easy way to actually engage with you and start a conversation, and you keep them curious and give them what they want, you will get way more responses. And again, I'm going to go into the template, but I want to give you guys the framework before we actually dive in. Another huge mistake is quantity over quality all day. The reality is most people just don't send enough emails. And here's the truth. You can have the best email on planet Earth, the best one that converts every single time. But if you're using Woodpecker and you can only reach 50 businesses per day, let's assume that only 10 actually even see the email. Everyone else just deletes it. And let's say out of those 10, only 2 or 3 actually read it. Now your chances of them actually converting go way down. Mm-hmm. But if you 10x that and you send 500 a day, now you're getting 20 to 30 people actually reading that email. So the key here is not quality. Although quality is important, the key always is just send more emails. Stop overcomplicating it. Stop overthinking it. Send more emails and call them when they respond. So that's point number 6. Point number 7, don't use Woodpecker, don't use Mailshake or any other software, and I will explain that a little later in the training today. That being said, let's dive into the golden email. So, subject, you're going to add what they want. So, for example, if you're in the medical niche, what they want more than anything else in the world are referrals. And I know that's a little bit bait and switch, but you have to appeal to their desires, or else the alternative is they're never even going to start a conversation with you.
Yep.
So if you want to be 100% open and honest about what it is that you offer and write Facebook ads for oral surgeon, then you're never going to get any response and it's not even going to work. But if you actually appeal to their deep desires, and once you get them on the call, I got a little distracted. I was like, what is happening on my screen? But is that you?
No, somebody's writing. I'm going to see if I can turn that off.
I don't know if you guys saw that. Someone was writing on my screen. I was like, I've never seen that before.
The second Zoom went public, they moved all the buttons. All right, go on.
So the key here is like, I would much rather you guys appeal to their desires, start a conversation, and then be honest when you get on the call and show them what it is that you do, than to just never get any responses and then cold email doesn't work for you. So just to put that into perspective, we take every client through what we call a demo presentation, where we show them exactly how our system works from step 1 to step 10, from A to Z. So every single person that's ever bought from me that came from cold email, they know exactly what we do, but we would have never been able to start the conversation and show them what we do if we started by word vomiting what we offer, all the specifics, all the technical jargon. So the subject line needs to be what they want most. So for example, if you're in HVAC, cooling jobs. In the winter, heating jobs. If you're in roofing, you could do roof replacement or roof repairs. It's what they want. You have to figure out what it is they want and put that in the subject line. That is going to be the ultimate subject line. And I'm sure there's ways that you can optimize it, but in the long run, on average, that's a proven strategy that's going to work. So for example, if I send an email to Jeff and I said, bike shop client or bike shop referral, you're going to open it. I guarantee.
Yeah.
I would put money down on that. Like I should have,
Well, is there I've never done HVAC, right? So I don't know what they want. Is there just some thought behind it? Is there a process? Is there good phrases we should be using? Because I've always thought chiropractors want more appointments, but maybe they want something.
No, they want more patients.
They want more patients. See, there you go. Yeah.
They don't want appointments.
How do we know our future clients' biggest desire?
Research. That's kind of the hard answer and also the correct answer, but I'm here to give you guys what works, not what's easy or false. So
yeah.
The right answer is you have to just learn your niche and really understand what it is that they truly want. But what do chiropractors want more than an appointment? And actually, let's start at the very top. You guys normally go with leads. The next level is appointments, which is what Jeff was suggesting.
Mm-hmm.
The next level is patients. But what they truly want are referrals.
Yep.
That is the ultimate, because that represents everything they would ever want. So for example, for agency owners, maybe it's leads, maybe it's appointments, maybe it's client, and then maybe it's high ticket referral. Maybe what agency owners want is a high ticket referral. So you have to go a little deeper and really understand what it is they truly want. So for example, in the dental implant space, in that niche, one of the most expensive procedures is called the all-on-4.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's called. I mean, it's kind of gross, but it's called the all-on-4 dental implants. That's a thing. And by being in this niche at the very beginning, I found that out. So I literally would write all-on-4 patient or all-on-4 patients.
Yeah.
And people would be like, wow, I want that, because that is literally the highest quality potential patient that I can get in the door. It's not just one tooth. We're literally doing the whole mouth. It's a 30,000 plus procedure. So you have to appeal to what they want at the deepest level. Then the email reads like this, but instead of actually reading it, I want to actually break it down. So this email, we created pretty much, we had some lines that we borrowed from other emails, but I'd say 80% of the email was created custom from scratch. And here's how it goes. So hi, again, that's scalable. So no name, not hey doc, just hi.
Yeah.
That's scalable, because if you put in the first name, you're never going to be able to send out 500 to 1,000 emails per day. That's impossible. So hi, I'm contacting you because we're getting a lot of patient referrals for dental implants. Again, giving them what they want, not leads. And we currently don't have an oral surgeon in your area to send them to. Reply with a quick yes with your best cell phone number if you can take on more implant cases. Again, low barrier to entry. Reply with a quick no if you want to be taken off the list. Now, this is kind of a next level line that we added in there, and I'll explain it very briefly. What we noticed is that if someone didn't like our email and we kept emailing them later on in the future, they would mark us as spam.
Mm-hmm.
And after you're marked as spam multiple times, what happens is Gmail, Yahoo, Hotmail, all the platforms that I'm going to be teaching you guys how to use will start to block you. But if you give people an out, not only does it disarm them and encourage them to actually respond yes, because they feel like there's no pressure and they also have a way out.
Mm-hmm.
But on top of that, if they're actually not interested, instead of marking you as spam, they'll just say no. And then you block them off your list and you never email them again.
Gotcha.
So this is also a very subtle and psychological hack to avoid just to avoid the spam box, essentially, and avoid getting marked as spam. Then we just say, thanks, your name, sent from my iPhone. Again, we keep it vague. We keep the curiosity high. We don't have any contact info. We don't have any business info.
Yeah.
We just want to start a conversation.
So then this could be electrical jobs, or this could be like full home HVAC replacements, or this could be like any specific thing that they desire for their specific niche. So like with bike shops, they're trying more Argon 18 sales. So it would go right there, right?
You would never know that unless you research the niche. But I guarantee you, if you sent an email being like, I'm contacting you because we're getting a lot of whatever sales. What did you say? It was
Argon 18, just like the gas. Yeah. Argon 18.
Argon 18 sales. And we currently don't have a bike shop in your area to send them to. Reply with a quick yes with your best cell phone number if you can take on more implant cases. Or not implant cases. Argon 18 sales. Yeah. Reply with a quick no if you want to be taken off the list. Thanks, Jeff. Send from my iPhone. I guarantee you, I will put money down on this live if you want, that you will get responses.
Yeah. Very cool. And the best way to know about the desire, just ask, right? Just like find a conversation, Google it, customer research. It's not as hard as we think, right?
So we actually have a little hack that I've experimented with. If you're brand new to a niche, what you can do is call business owners in your area. And as long as you have, and you can even make it up if you don't have a university in your area, but if you do, like I live right next to University of Colorado Boulder, and I say, hey, I'm doing a research paper. I'm actually a part of the business school. And I sound a little nervous. I'm actually part of the business school, and we're doing a marketing paper, and I need to speak to a few HVAC owners. Can I ask a few questions and interview the owner?
I love how you're like pseudo stuttering when you're doing this. This is so funny.
Yeah, it makes it more real. And they're like, sure, yeah, of course. And then we actually start to probe a little bit on the call too. This is a little side note. One of my students, who's a beast, actually did this and ended up closing a client on the call.
Nice.
That's like not expected to happen. Like that was definitely just like complete luck and just right moment, right place, right time. But
so you actually like call business owners and you ask them like, what's the number one thing you're looking from your marketing or something like that? Or you ask them like a couple questions, right?
Yeah. Like you just do like the ask method. I don't know if you guys have heard of that.
Yeah.
But you just go through a survey. We teach to go a little, the way I've taught it is go a little deeper, like ask them like what's holding you back from actually getting said desire. How would your life look like if you did get more Argon 18 sales? Like I go a little deeper and actually probe. But if you're just starting out and you don't know your niche, I would 100% recommend taking a morning to do that. And I promise you, you're going to get really good insight on what to do and what not to do. Yep. For example, let's say we're in the remodeling niche. Maybe like during the summer, people just don't remodel their baths. I don't know. This is something that I just would not know unless I was in the industry. But by calling them and asking, hey, do you guys get more kitchen remodels, bath remodels, or is the summertime kind of slow? If it is, what do you guys actually get? And they'll tell you. So.
Gotcha. Very cool.
Guys, if you're enjoying this training so far, give me a 1 in the chat. Let's blow it up. Let's break the Zoom. Isabella, Gabriel. Oh my God. I love it. Yes. I wish I could hear you guys or do like a Facebook Live where it's like I could see all the comments. Boom, 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 boom. I love it. Awesome. All right, let's keep going. So a quick little warning for you guys. Big warning, not little one. So a quick big warning for you guys. I can't stress this enough. Take the framework and innovate on it. If you want to just start out with a template, I promise you it will work. But I've had people be like, yo, Joel, I switched around this one line a little bit. I started adding the word cell before phone number, because that's something we didn't do before. We used to just say, reply with a quick yes with your best phone number. And someone told me to add the word cell, and they'll give you their personal. Just innovate on it. Figure out a way to make it better. Originally, we took a template that one of my previous coaches had shared with me, and we completely redesigned it. Like, I'd say maybe now the only pieces that remain are like the hi and I'm contacting you because, but everything else slowly but surely evolved and got better.
Yep.
So again, if you want results unlike other people, then don't take copy and paste actions. And I know that sounds a little hypocritical given that we said, oh, here's the template. But what I would love for you guys to do is to start with this template, run with this template, use this as a foundation because it's proven to work. But as marketers should do, as good marketers should do, continue to A and B test over time. If you're sending out 500 a day, on Monday you send version 1, on Tuesday you send version 2. Like, test, find a way to make it better. That's how you're going to evolve and get crazy numbers. The reason why, I guess it got kicked out, but the reason why I hit such crazy growth in my agency is because I thought outside the box after taking proven frameworks that I know actually work.
Yep.
So now it's just loading, but you guys already saw it. So let's keep going. One more thing. Even though this is the golden email, and this is our battle-tested version that we've improved over and over and over time, keep in mind that there's even more gold in the ability to send thousands of emails. Because even if you don't use that, like, I know some of you guys have very special services like websites, like I know Mackenzie does chatbots, and it's a little bit more unique, although like with chatbots, you can 100% appeal to their deep desires. But the point is this, what I'm going to teach you guys today, which we haven't even started to dive into, is how to send an insane amount of emails. And that's your competitive advantage, because you can put whatever you want in it in the long run. And after today, you're going to have the ability to actually send out as many emails as you want without getting blocked, without going into spam and all that good stuff. And that's where I truly believe the real gold is. So, this is great and all. You guys are probably wondering, like, how do I actually send the emails, Joel? We've been talking about frameworks, foundations, all that good stuff. So let's dive in. And I'm going to actually take you guys step by step. Step 1, we're going to build an email list. So these are all the potential places where I recommend tapping into for an email list. And my actual recommendation is to literally go through every single software one by one and scrape every single city in the US until you've done it for every single software. Because you're going to get mixed results for each software, and you just want to take them all and combine them into one. So we've actually scraped all of US, every single city, with Local Scraper, with D7 Lead Finder, and with Lead Kahuna. The thing to keep in mind is don't sign up for all three at once, because then you're going to have to pay all three every single month. And it takes about a month or two to actually scrape all of the US. So just start with one, scrape all of US, move on to the next, and cancel the first one. Then when you're done with number 2, scrape the entire US, cancel that one, move on to the next one, and rinse and repeat. Those are your 3. This is how we did it. So we literally, and there are the links. So you guys, I don't know if you will have access to the slides, but you can literally type those links in. Lead Kahuna is, I think, $2.99 a year. I think Local Scraper is like $20 or $30. D7 Lead Finder is probably around the same rate. Quick little hack. With D7 Lead Finder, they don't let you do unlimited scrapes, but if you reach out to them and say, hey, I want to have unlimited searches per day, they will up your limit. So if you want to max it out, you can, it'll cost you more, but you can essentially have unlimited searches if you just reach out and ask. I think it's like $500 a month. But again, you're only doing this once.
Yep.
And then you have every single email and phone number in your niche that you'll ever need.
Gotcha.
So I'd say look to spend between 800 to 1,000 between all these, but then it's done. It's like you scraped it, you have it, you're done. Some other options that we've tested are hiring freelancers on Upwork and Fiverr. We've tried this out for getting emails that are a little higher quality, like personal emails from the business owner, things like that. With that in mind, going back to the 10 commandments, it's quantity over quality all day.
Yeah.
So I don't care if, I know someone asked, like, what do I do if it's info@coolbeansdigital.com or atlasdigital.com or info@jeffsdentistry.com or joelsdentistry.com and not the actual doctor's email? I absolutely do not care. I want you guys to just focus on sending as many emails as possible. That's it. Send, 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 send. That's all that I care about. So the key is scrape all of US, start with these three. You can also hire a freelancer on Upwork or Fiverr. You can also buy lists if you want, like Info USA has some lists. I did that once, got pretty good results with a list. It is a little more expensive, so just keep that in mind. At this point where I'm at, just because I have more cash, I do buy a lot more lists just to test things out. Maybe they have some emails that I don't have, because I'm trying to literally collect every single email in existence and phone number for my niche. Now, the key is to start by scraping the top 1,000 US cities. And the reason why there's an asterisk is because I want to give credit where credit is due. This is actually a strategy taught to me by Lyle Horst. He said, because before I was literally starting with like the first state, Alabama, and all the cities there. Mm-hmm. And he said, Joel, if you're just getting started, it may make way more sense to just scrape the top 1,000 cities first and kind of get the greatest bang for your buck. So if you guys are just starting out and haven't scraped, I highly recommend clicking on this link. I can just go to it. I don't know if it'll actually share, but it has the 1,000 top cities by population in the US. So I would start by scraping those. And then when you guys are done with that, I want you guys to literally scrape every single city in the US. So you click on the state and you get all the cities.
Yeah.
This is going to take a lot more time. That's why I said it takes about a month or two. I highly, highly recommend you learn how to do it for 10 minutes. I personally was thinking about teaching you guys how to do this here, but it is not a good use of our time. Like, I guarantee every single one of you can figure out how to put in the keyword, put in the city in Lead Kahuna and click submit. So it's not a good use of our time. And to be honest with you, when I started doing this, I literally told my VA to go and figure it out because I knew it was very easy. So I've actually never done a scrape. So a better use of your time is to literally have your VA do this. And if you're just starting out and it's just you, then only focus on scraping the first 1,000. And that's going to give you the biggest bang for your buck anyways. Because that's when that's where you have the most businesses. That's where you have the most people. Those are the kind of clients that you want. You don't want a client in the middle of nowhere where after you run ads for 2 months, the reach just dies out.
Yep.
So that's how to build an email list. Next step, we're going to verify the list and we're going to add it to the master list. So the way that I like to verify emails, I like to go to mailswift.io, or you can just click on this link. They have a different looking website, but this is MailSwift. If you just go through mailswift.io and scroll to the bottom, click on email list cleaner, or you just click on this link that I have right here. You can upload your lists and clean them for free.
So why would my list need to be cleaned?
Great question. If your list is not cleaned and you're sending out 500 emails and your messages are not arriving, you're essentially getting tallied on Hotmail, Gmail, Yahoo, which I'm going to be talking about in just a sec. And over time, it's going to affect the strengths of your account.
Gotcha.
You essentially want to guarantee as high as likely as possible that you're going to be landing in a legit emails inbox.
Gotcha.
But if you keep sending to like, have you ever gotten that message that's like, message does not deliver?
Yes.
If you keep getting that over and over and over again, Gmail and Yahoo and all these platforms take that into account. So
Gotcha. So if you're emailing a bunch of bad emails that don't exist, after a while, they'll just say, stop letting this person email altogether, and then you'll get banned and spammed and all that.
exactly.
Got it.
And your deliverability will go down.
Gotcha.
And guys, there's like no perfect one method to absolutely guarantee the deliverability, but through all of these little factors like this, like getting them to say no instead of marking you as spam, all those things start to add up. So over time, like your deliverability is very, very high. All right, let's keep going. So we've got MailSwift, we've got Never Bounce. Never Bounce is another option. It does cost money. I do believe it's higher quality of an email cleaner. But we just use mailswift.io, and that cleans up most of the emails, and it's good enough. Once you verify the list, and this is something that actually someone asked earlier, once you verify the list, you want to remove the duplicates. And the way to do that is that there's an add-on right in Google Spreadsheets. If you just click on add-ons and go to get add-ons and buy it, it's called remove duplicates.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very easy to use. I don't want to waste the time showing you guys. It's very, very, very simple. Then you click on manage add-ons and you wait for the internet to load, and it's literally right there. So that's how we remove the duplicates. So again, we scrape the emails from Local Scraper, Lead Kahuna, all that good stuff. Then we add all the emails into MailSwift or into Never Bounce. Then we clean them up. Then we put them into here.
So let me ask you this. So
Yes.
I go into like Lead Scraper, D7 Lead Finder. I can type in chiropractors or HVAC companies or plumbers, correct? Like I can get specific. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So the way that it works is you select the city. Some even let you do a range of multiple cities. You select the state and you select the keyword.
Gotcha. Okay.
What I would do if I were you guys is essentially, and this is, I guess, something that's pretty important, is to test out the keywords in actual Google searches before you actually run with it, and look for the keywords that get you the most responses on Google Maps. So for example, if I look up oral surgeon, I get quite a bit. So this is a good keyword, right? There's 10 pages worth.
Yeah.
But if I look up like, I don't know, something else that might not actually work, then it's probably a bad keyword. So for example, I don't know if I would look up HVAC company, but I may look up HVAC. Yeah, and you see it brings me quite a bit of results. So
yeah,
just before you actually use the search term, just look it up on Google. And if it delivers a lot of responses on Google Maps, then it's probably a good search term.
Got it.
Don't overcomplicate it. All right. So step 2, we verify the list. Then we add it to the master list. So a master list is just like a spreadsheet, just like this one. Very simple, guys. You just create a little row that says email address. You put all the emails after they've been cleaned, just like this, into here. And this is just an example that I did of 100 emails to show you guys, so you guys can visualize it. But obviously, if you scrape 2,000, you're going to dump 2,000 into there. Then you go through the add-ons. Then you remove the duplicates. I mean, I could literally show you guys if you want, but it's like, I think you might have to actually.
Now that we're watching, it ain't going to work. That's just how the internet works, right? Like,
No, it's working.
Okay.
Let's just do a 2 to a 100. I mean, why not? I guess I just talked about how it was a waste of time, and now we're doing it. I mean, it's very simple. All right. And then if you want to just fill it with a color so you can see if there were actually any duplicates, you can just fill it with color. But if you want to just delete the rows, just click on that. You click finish. That's it, guys.
Yep.
So that's how we remove duplicates. Obviously, no rows were found. And I think that's it for step number 2. Any questions, Jeff, any kind of clarifying, or how are you feeling?
Well, let's see. So I've never done any of this before, but as a concept, I understand it. Like, all right, go to these websites, type in your city, type in HVAC or plumbers or whatever. Got a big ass list. Cool. We want to make sure that this list is not going to mark us as spam. So you're going to get an email checker, right? Cool. And you're going to remove duplicates. So you're not like flagging for spam. Cool. I get it. It makes total sense. We're getting some people saying that there's like other tools. There's always other tools, but essentially it's like scrape the leads, make sure they're not bad, make sure there are no duplicates, and then you're ready to send. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes.
Gotcha.
Don't overthink it. I promise you, if you have 50,000 emails that you scraped, even if there's 10,000 that aren't going to reach the exact business owner, that still leaves you with 40,000 emails that you can send out 500 a day, and that'll last you for quite a while. And that's what matters.
Gotcha. Cool.
So it does not have to be perfect, guys. I used to literally be like, I only want to email the exact business owner. And then I switched my mindset into, I want to email everyone. I don't care who it reaches. I just want to email everyone and just send. I want to be like this guy over here. Specifically, I want my VA to be sitting there just planting seeds all day like crazy, starting conversations. And then we wake up to like 20 email responses every day. So it's like, I don't really care if it's not perfect. So Jeff, what you said was exactly right. We're going to scrape. We're going to start with the top 1,000 cities. I think that's an important note to add in there. Then we're going to clean the list. Then we're going to remove duplicates. And the reason why is because, again, if someone says no to you and you've emailed them twice, then they're going to potentially mark you as spam, which in the long run hurts you. So we remove duplicates.
So let me ask you this. Yeah, David Gassman brought up something pretty interesting, which is like, do you go through all of them manually to make sure they're all part of your actual niche, like solar company versus solar spa, or it really doesn't matter? That's you just brain freaking out or something that doesn't happen, right?
We used to target stem cell, and they're doing a lot of research at universities for stem cell, and we scraped a lot of like professor emails. And I remember like maybe 1 out of 10 would be like, I'm a professor, would this work for me? some weird response. And then like, I'm at the university, we do research, like, do you want to like always looking for new test subjects and things like that. Yeah. And it's like, who cares? Because you still got 9 other people responding to you.
Gotcha.
I think maybe this is a good point to just address the fact that if you look at 7-figure and 8-figure earners, they're very smart, but they're actually very stupid in a way.
Yeah.
So in the grand scheme, they're smart people, but they're stupid in that they do not overcomplicate things. They just take massive action and move faster than literally anyone else.
Yeah.
So, and this was, again, I was there with you guys. I used to overthink everything. I literally, again, at one point hired a VA to just look for business owner emails. And she spent like 3 months and she got like 150.
Yeah.
Which is like what I can send in 10 minutes. Right.
Yep.
But over time, I noticed that not overthinking it and just taking a crap ton of action and planting way more seeds than everyone else is going to lead you to the greatest return.
Gotcha.
And there's a famous Jim Rohn quote. Let me see if I can pull it up. Jim Rohn seed quote. Man, I don't know if I could find it, but essentially it's like some seeds will land in fertile soil, some will not. The key is just to
share your screen again.
Yeah, sorry. The key is just to grow the ones that land in fertile soil. So it's like you just want to, and I know we're kind of getting weird with all the farming. I promise, like I have actually never farmed in my life, but it's a Jim Rohn quote. So you can't go wrong with that.
So don't worry if like 1 out of 100 emails is entirely accurate. Worry about the other 99.
Or even 10 or 20.
Yep.
Worry about the 80.
Gotcha.
All right. So now here's the magic. Here's literally what I truly believe a lot of people are always like, Joel, this is great and all. How do I send 500 emails a day?
Yep.
Here's the magic. We are going to create 30 email accounts. I'm going to repeat that. We are going to create 30 email accounts. We're going to use Yahoo, Hotmail, Outlook. Gmail used to work very well, but lately they've been a little like spazzing out. But Outlook, Hotmail, and Yahoo are still working perfectly. And we're going to create 30 email accounts. So before I actually go any further, I'm going to show you what that looks like. It should literally look like this. So I don't know if I can zoom in.
I can see it.
Just to make it super clear. So if I'm starting out in a new niche, I'm starting out with this entire system, I've never done it before, I'm going to create an email that looks like this, Joel Kaplan 001 yahoo.com. Then I'm going to create Joel Kaplan 002 yahoo.com. And I'm literally just going to create a bunch of emails.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going to also do it for Outlook. And the key is to have around 30 or so accounts ready to go. You only need 10 for this to work, but it's nice to have 30 as a backup in case one does get blocked, in case something does happen, in case you weren't actually removing duplicates and you got marked as spam too many times and your email got blocked.
Yep.
So we want to create 30 email accounts. I actually haven't publicly mentioned this to other people that know about the system, but Outlook and Hotmail are outperforming like Yahoo and Gmail just because Gmail is very smart. So it's like lately they've just been kind of annoying and just blocking more if it's a brand new account.
Yeah.
So this system 100% still works exactly how you want it to in Outlook and Hotmail. So for example, there's someone that I'm helping with on this system. We literally turned it on a week ago. And these are all the positive replies that they've gotten so far. And this is literally like not even a week of sending. And I just wanted to give you guys that as an example.
I'll blur out the personal information later.
Yeah, I guess that, dude, my lawyer's going to hate me one day. I've done some crazy stuff. But the point is this was from Outlook. So we sent it from Outlook, worked perfectly fine, no issues whatsoever.
Yeah.
But the key is we're going to create 30 email accounts. And again, got to give credit to where it's due. One of my first coaches, he taught me this strategy. We obviously modified it. We didn't use Outlook before. We didn't use Hotmail. We strictly used Gmail. It was a little bit different. But the idea here is you want to create 30 email accounts. If I were you, I would start out with Yahoo, Hotmail, and Outlook. You want to have no signature in the email. You want to have a personal name. You want to have no business information. You want to have not a non-businessy profile picture that clearly screams, I'm selling you something. Because
okay,
again,
so no signature and yes, a personal name. Is that correct? Like,
yeah, it should just look like this essentially.
Right.
Like, Jeff Miller 001.
Gotcha. Okay.
Jeff Miller, not Cool Beans Digital 001 at gmail.com.
Gotcha. Okay.
It should be first name, last name 001 at gmail.com. And I'll explain all this later. And then like your name that's being sent from is just your name. And I'll explain the rest of the stuff in just a second. Now, again, we don't want to have a signature. Like if I go to create an email with let me just stop sharing for a second.
Yep.
While I pull this up.
Everyone look at each other.
And say hi. Turn to the person on your right. No,
There's Napoleon. It's going to Napoleon.
If I like no signature like this is from my business email.
So don't have that.
No, maybe just your
Gotcha.
name if you want, but that's it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because again, when I meet you in person, Jeff, I don't go, hey, my name's Joel. I work for Atlas Digital. Here's my number. Here's where you can book on my Calendly link.
The show up and throw up method. Yeah, don't do that.
I like that. We're going to just say hi, start a conversation, tell them that we can help them with what it is they're actually after, and see where it goes from there.
Very cool.
All right, so we're going to create 30 accounts. If you want to use Gmail, or if for some reason you're having issues, for some odd reason, you did this all wrong, you're having issues, you didn't follow instructions, you can always buy aged accounts.
Yep.
So it's as simple as just Googling buy Gmail aged accounts, find a legit seller, and
no shit. This is a thing?
yeah, and then we can look bulk, cheap, and aged.
That's crazy.
And then we could also do like Yahoo, Hotmail, whatever you want. So it's like if you guys have issues with deliverability, just go buy like 30 aged accounts. And guess what? If it comes from someone's name, it's like Ryan, and I call and I'm like, this is Joel, I guarantee you it still will not matter. We are just starting out a conversation and just be like, I work with Ryan. And I have proof of that because all of our emails that have been ever sent out have been from Marcos, yet Marcos has never actually called. The person calling has always been our sales guy, Omir. So he says, hey, my colleague Marcos sent you an email. So if you guys, for some reason, need to buy aged accounts or you don't want to go through the hassle of setting it all up, you can just buy the accounts, pick a name that sounds like someone you'd work with, and then just go with that. So again, the key here is to start conversations and use this as a method to get to the business owner. They say that in the niches where it's really hard. Sorry, I didn't mean to stop sharing. I have that habit of like when I'm done, when I don't have anything else to show here, I just hit stop share. But if you're in a niche where it's really hard to access the business owner, once you do access them, they're much more likely to buy. So if, for example, if you reach an oral surgeon, it's a hot lead. Like they're a lot easier to close than just calling like a mom and pop shop.
Yep.
That being said, if you reach out with someone else's name, as long as you're getting past the gatekeeper, that's all that matters. And again, in that voice message that I was sending out to the group, I talked about expectations. If you guys all rewire your expectations of how to succeed with cold email and how to actually succeed with it, you're going to have way more success. All right, let me keep going. I can't tell if I'm like telling people it's like the truth, but I don't know if it's what they want to hear.
No, dude, you're doing good. Like I'm looking at the chat. Everybody's cool. Guys, if you like this, just give some social proof and just type a 1 in the chat. I don't know. Right. I've never done it before. But
yo, comment hashtag feed Joel's ego. Comment hashtag feed Joel's ego in the comments so I feel good about myself. I could screenshot it later, put it on the landing page. I'm just kidding. I love how I can get feedback on whether my jokes are landing just from you. Yeah. But I still don't know if it's landing for 99% of the people.
No, I'm like Ricky Gervais. I just laugh anyway. Like no matter what, like even if it's not funny, I just laugh.
Oh man.
But either way though, so the basic structure is like you're going to create an F ton of emails, Yahoo, Outlook, Hotmail, Gmail, and you're going to set up like Jeff Miller 001, Jeff Miller 002, like an F ton of emails, right?
Correct.
Cool.
And if you don't want to do that, you can always buy aged accounts.
Yep.
A few more things for step 3. Now you may be wondering, I try to set up an email with Gmail or Yahoo and they ask me to verify it with a phone number. That's going to happen. They do that. They want to know that you're a real person and you can't just mass create emails. We're going to work around it. Here's how. Because we're marketers online, we're smart, and there's always a workaround. We're going to ask friends and family for help verifying accounts. This is a very simple one. So for example, if you know 5 people, one phone number will get you like 3 to 4 accounts. So it's like right then and there, you already have 15 to 20 if you know 5 people. If you know 10 people, you've got your 30 accounts. That's one way. And this is how we actually did it when we first started out. We had an intern who was a part of a sorority. And as part of her homework, she had to go and get all of her sorority sisters to create and verify email accounts. Because she had like 100 sisters from her sorority and everyone had a phone number. And it's like, she would set it up. She would be like, what's your number? She would put it in, ask them for their verification code, and they were good.
That's so funny.
If you don't want to depend on that, there's another way. The second way is to purchase an unlocked phone and a few SIM cards. Now, we arrived at this method because we got tired of asking people to create accounts. And we especially arrived at this method when we started offering this as a service. We're like, we just can't create, like I can't create 30 accounts for you, Jeff, if you hire me for this. Yeah. And for Nancy and for Emily and for Jack. Like I can't do that like by just asking friends and family members. So what we did is we purchased an unlocked phone and like 100 SIM cards. And then you can just that's like 300 accounts right there.
So fucking funny. All right. So let me ask you this. So if it's just my phone number, it's just me, right? How many accounts do you think I can get across Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo, and Outlook? Like 30?
Three or four per account. Yeah.
Okay. So just with me, I could have 15 and 20 accounts.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay. But so this is for like the scaling part, like if you want a F ton of accounts, right?
I just know that if I don't cover this, questions are going to come up.
Yeah.
When people are like, oh, I ran out, I can't verify accounts. So I'm just giving you guys every single thing you need to know. Okay. After that, the best way to do this, honestly, is if you ask your VA to purchase an unlocked phone, or if you have a friend or know anyone that has a VA, be like, yo, I'll put in the cost of the phone. So I'll cover the cost of the phone, which is like $30. Let's split the SIM cards and I'll teach your VA, personally work with your VA to create accounts for me and you. And then if you don't know a VA, literally go and ask a friend that has a VA and ask your VA to go into town, purchase an unlocked phone and a SIM card.
That's so funny.
To buy as many SIM cards as you want, with $200, you will never have to worry about this ever again in terms of verifying an account, ever. I have like a lot of SIM cards, by the way, guys.
This is hilarious. Like I had no idea this was a thing, like buying old accounts, buying SIM cards, all this stuff. Like this is how you power like cold emailing, prospecting engines for agency owners, right?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
This is how we send 500 to 1,000 a day, which I guess I haven't specifically covered it, but this is the foundation to it.
Yep.
A quick little warning for you guys. The person sending the email needs to be the person who created the account. So if you're planning to delegate this to a VA, they need to create the account and send the emails from their IP.
Okay.
Let me just repeat that one more time. Let's say you create the accounts yourself, you go buy an unlocked phone, or you set it up with your friends and family. And then you're like, hey, VA, log into this account and send emails. And your VA is in South America. You're going to run into issues. Guaranteed. So the way to work around that is if you plan to send the emails, or to start out, you plan to send the emails, then create some accounts for you. But if you want to eventually delegate, have your VA create the accounts for them.
And then they can only, like, they can log in on their own computer. They can't log into my stuff. I can't log into theirs.
Correct.
Okay.
Which you'll still get all the responses because it gets a little deeper. That's why it's all step-by-step, guys. You can go back and watch this, and it is logical. Not one detail is being missed. But the person sending the emails needs to be the person who created the account. Same IP address. We've tried the whole, like, sharing the proxy and VPN and all that shit. And to be honest, like, it never worked. It was way too complicated for me. So we just set that rule. If I create the accounts, I send the emails. My VA creates accounts. She sends the emails.
But for people who don't have a VA, they're starting out, they can do like 15 to 20 accounts by themselves with just their phone, right? After you get some success, then you can have this conversation, right?
Correct. And then once you do, go tell your VA your new VA that you hired with the money that you made to go buy an unlocked phone and the 20 SIM cards, and then have them create their new accounts for when they start to send.
Yep. Gotcha.
Does that make sense? That's a very important piece, because if not, you guys will all get screwed. So I just want to...
The way I'm imagining in my head is like, I'm just going to do 15 to 20 accounts in total across the 4 or 5 different providers, and then get this engine up and running. Once this engine is up and running and I'm getting appointments and people are calling and I'm going, oh my God, I'm starting to make money. Now I can get my VA. I can pay for the extra SIM cards, and then they can do it themselves. Is that the right way to think about it?
Correct.
Okay, cool.
And if you already have a VA, maybe so let's say you already have one, instead of you creating it, you just delegate this whole process to them.
Gotcha.
All right. So if you eventually want to outsource this, it's better to have your VA set up the accounts. And the last piece is you do need to warm up the accounts a little bit. You do need to warm up the accounts a little bit. It's very simple. Just send a few messages back and forth from your newly created accounts to, like, let's say your business email. So it's something that you've already been using for a while. Just send out like 4 or 5 messages back and forth, replying that way. They know that you've had a conversation. On top of that, I would subscribe to a bunch of email lists.
Interesting.
So this just gets a lot of, this just has a lot of mail coming in. So
like a Groupon or something like that, or like
just a few
daily newsletters or something.
I would just say like 2 or 3.
Gotcha.
Just subscribe to a few email lists. You could also turn it off. Like you could also turn it on and have like a bunch of email lists that you're subscribed to for like a week. Get a lot of emails. Then Yahoo, Outlook, they're like, oh, this account gets a lot of emails. And then you turn it off.
Gotcha. Okay.
So again, keeping it simple. This is just being extra careful. This is me just trying to cover every little piece of potential thing that may come up. All right. So now we're going to start sending some emails.
So let me ask you this. What if somebody says like, hey, you know what? Forget all this. I'm an action taker. I'm just going to start sending a bunch of emails. And they do it from their personal email account. They're just going to get bammed and spammed and screwed. Is that correct?
I just don't know if I would recommend having your mail. I actually would not recommend it, but not for the reason you're thinking about.
Okay.
I think it's going to become a nightmare and just of like a lot of responses in one place, and it's going to keep things very not clean.
Gotcha.
And efficient. So I think that would work. Like if you have aged accounts and you want to start taking action, like I know I have a joelkaplan.me@gmail.com. I've got joelkaplan001 from like high school. I mean, I could have just started with those that I know were aged. If you want to just start with the ones you already have, even if you just have like 3 or 4 accounts, but it's just going to unorganize the whole system.
Gotcha.
All right. So, and again, if there's any like doubt or questions, you can always go back and rewatch this. And I promise you every detail is being covered. And there's nothing that I personally know on my end that I'm missing in terms of the actual process.
Gotcha.
So if you're probably thinking, oh, I don't really understand something, if you go back and watch it, it'll probably click that second time. So this is called the BCC method. This is just very simple. It's not new. It's not crazy, but when you put 1 and 2 together, this could be a very, very powerful strategy. So the way that we works is we're going to get the email ready, and I'm actually going to show you guys how to do it. So again, just to recap, at this point, we have a list. It's all ready to go here. We have, here. We've got a bunch of accounts. We're ready to rock and roll. They've been warmed up. They're created from your IP. We're ready to start sending emails. So these are all examples. So I'm going to just log into my personal email just to show you guys the actual walkthrough process. And to be brutally honest with you guys, my VA takes care of absolutely everything. So it's like, I don't even know the passwords to my own accounts at this point.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So I'm going to just walk you guys through the actual process. You're going to log into one of the accounts. Let me make this bigger. Okay, you're going to log into one of the accounts. Again, no signature. So again, this would be one of these. One of the accounts you created. You're going to log in. Then you are going to go to create a new email. We just did that. Self-explanatory. Go to create a new email. We're going to copy and paste your subject line and the email template. So let's go with a bike shop one.
Yeah, let's do that.
Is Argo 18?
Argon 18N at the end of Argo. So Argon 18 sales. Yeah.
Okay. So there's a subject. You guys are going to like be blown away in just a second. Okay. So I'm contacting you because we're getting a lot of they call themselves bike shops?
Yes. Yeah, more Argon 18 sales.
Do you capitalize argon or no?
You do. It's just like you put it. Yeah. And that's it.
Hold on. And then, so that's, at this point, we've done steps. We've done steps A through Z or C. And then we're going to send the email to yourself, and we're going to BCC 10 emails from your email list.
Mm-hmm.
So what does this actually look like? You go to your master list with all the cleaned emails, remove the duplicates. We already did this. You're going to grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are legit emails, so I'm not going to hit send.
Yeah.
They're definitely not bike owners. So we're going to send it to ourselves. So in this case, it would be Joel at Go Atlas Digital. But in your case, you're going to send it to jeffmittler001@gmail.com or yahoo.com. I can't actually see. Then I'm going to BCC. Boom. Hit send.
There you go.
Send 10 in an instant. So we hit send, and then we're going to repeat steps B through E, these 4 more times. So I'm literally going to, let's just assume, I'm going to just walk you guys through it. Let's assume we hit send.
It would be the next 10. Yeah.
Then I would, let me just delete this, but I'll grab the template. Go to hit compose. And by the way, how long did that take me? Like a minute?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have to do that 5 times per account. So 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Times 10. So it takes about 45 minutes.
Is there a reason why you stop at 50? Is that like the ban limit or something? Or
yeah, we've experimented with more. That was just a very safe bet. I would recommend, as good marketers should do, to just test it out.
Okay.
Hold on, where is it? So then we grab the next 10. Boom.
BCC next 10. Yeah. And this is something you can have your VA do, all these steps, right?
I do not recommend eventually anyone doing any of this.
Yep.
So the reason why it's automated, that's why I said at the very beginning, eventually we're going to delegate and automate by passing it off to a VA.
And then all of a sudden we've answered the question, how to become a millionaire overnight. You're like, yeah, you just put in, yeah, there you go.
There it is, guys. We're done. Jeff, that was great. No, I'm just kidding.
See you later, bye.
We got a lot more to cover. Let's see. Boom. So you hit send, you rinse and repeat 5 times. So there's 50 emails, just like that. Once you're set up and this becomes habit, it'll even take, it really should take you less than a minute. It should really take you more like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And if you do that math, that's like 20 to 30 minutes a day, 500 emails, which is insane. All right, let me keep going. Where are we? All right. And I think we should do a quick little pause after recap just to make sure everyone's good to go. But first, let me finish this so that it's in everyone's brain. Step 5 is we're going to repeat steps 4 through 9. Sorry, we're going to repeat step 4. We're going to do this all over again with 9 more accounts.
Yep.
So with 1 account, we send 50. 10 accounts, we send 500. So at this point, you're going to log into one of your other accounts. You're going to repeat the process. You're going to send 5 emails to 10 people, which is 50 total, which times 10 accounts per day equals 500 emails sent.
And that's why you don't care if it's like a 100% accuracy rate. You're sending 500 a day.
No one is touching 500. No one is planting 500 seeds a day, or at least outside of this masterclass, there's like maybe 10 to 15 people.
Yeah.
So this is a huge, huge gold mine. And I truly, truly, truly believe that if you guys innovate on that template and really see the true gold behind this method of reaching out to as many business owners as possible, I feel like there's so much that we could do that we haven't even been able to do ourselves.
So let me ask you this. Is there like a certain time to send these, or it doesn't matter? Just get them out the door. Just send more, right?
Yeah, let me, here we go.
Yeah.
It's like, I think most people, again, are overthinking, because I think that makes people feel like they're moving in the right direction. This is actually a really important point. If you actually look at the way I used to be when I was not a multi-7-figure earner, I would overcomplicate things and overthink, because it would give me a false sense of progress, and it would make me feel busy.
Yep.
And it would allow me to stop focusing on the things that truly mattered, AKA sending 500 emails. So I think the honest truth is, maybe there is, Jeff, a better time to send and a worse time to send. And I don't think it really matters.
And so is there a reason you're not using something like automation software like Woodpecker or whatever it is?
You'll get blocked. It's not a good long-term strategy. You can't actually send out 500 a day unless you buy, like, you could rinse and repeat this whole same strategy for those softwares and buy like 30 domains and link up all the domains. It's going to be way more complicated.
Gotcha.
And the other reason why is because Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook are much more friendly emails, and it keeps that curiosity high. So if I send from like a domain, which you have to link with, if you send from a domain, which you have to with Woodpecker, all those places, you might have the best email on planet Earth and they still won't read it, because they're like, I don't want to be sold.
Yep.
Even though it might be the best thing you'll ever sell to them.
Gotcha. Yep. Yep.
Guys, I hope you're enjoying this. I know it's a lot of content. I know it's a lot of information. Hopefully you guys are just as excited as I am and see the potential here. Again, the gold is in the ability to send thousands of emails and literally reach everyone in your industry within a matter of months. There's the gold, and there's still so much room to innovate and improve. I'm sure if someone really, really, really went for it, they could come up with some crazy email that takes this to a whole nother level.
Yep.
This is what worked for us. I gave you guys the frameworks. You guys need to take those frameworks and innovate on it. So let's see, recap. And actually, before I do that, if you want to send 1,000 emails per day, just use 20 accounts. Get more accounts. It's really that simple. So quick little recap, just to keep it super, super, super crystal clear. And if you're going back to the replay and watching this, you'll be able to see how simple this is. You get your email list, you verify that list, you create 30 email accounts, you send those emails using the BCC method, you keep sending until you've done it with 10 accounts per day.
Yep.
Jeff, how are you feeling right now?
Well, this is like totally doable. And what's funny is that like I'm at the inflection point you're mentioning, which is like complicated stuff doesn't work, just do more simple stuff. And if you think like you can innovate and you're like, you can, we got to do the doing part. And I remember my first mentor was John Logar, and he was talking about how you should be sending cold emails. You should be doing Gmail. I was like, but there's a better way called Woodpecker. There's automations. And I'm like, the reason why I didn't take massive action and do it is because I thought I was looking at the next shiny object. All you're saying, by the way, is go to the gym and you will lose weight and build muscle. It doesn't matter what you're doing at the gym. Stop thinking about just go to the gym. Just send emails.
And get a lot of reps in.
You get a lot of reps, right? Just go to the gym, send more emails.
Don't go and do 5 reps. Go and do 500.
A lot of reps, right? Like have multiple things going on. And from what I'm seeing right here, this is not difficult. It's not complicated. People just make it complicated, right?
Exactly. Even the questions in the comments, it's like, guys, I'm sure there's a clear answer. And I know I do not want to come across as a dick to you guys, but the harsh and compassionate truth is that it really doesn't matter. Just do what I told you. Send out emails. You will get responses as early as tomorrow. Like, hold on. Let me actually pull up a text if I can find it.
I also wanted to ask, how do you handle the responses, or is that going to be next in the slides?
That's next, but hold on.
All right, cool.
That's like my personal messages, so I'm going to skip. I was going to share you guys like a thread, but then I have to show you guys personal messages. It's top secret stuff. Let's keep going. So talking about automations and forwarding. So here we go. This is where it gets a little, hopefully not too high level, but we'll see. We're going to forward all the responses to one main email account. So if you guys saw here, the very first email was my main account. Everything else is used for sending. So I don't actually use that very first account for any of the mass sending. I just use it to be like the hub for this entire system. So again, just to repeat.
Yep.
Most emails are used for sending. We have one account that's kind of the main hub for everything else. And I'm going to explain in just a second what that actually looks like. We're going to forward all the responses to the one main email account.
Zap can do everything. God damn, this company is amazing.
Yeah. The forwarding, you can set it up within Outlook, within Yahoo, within Gmail. You can literally set it up. You have to set it up within the actual platform, the forwarding. And what I have my VAs do to double check to make sure the forwarding is set up is when we create the emails for the first time, this is all set to no. And then once they actually set it up, they just switch it to a yes.
Yep.
And guys, it's like, if I go to settings, I've got like 5 tabs open right now. So hold on.
Yeah. And Zoom messes up the screen too.
Forwarding, literally add a forwarding address. It's that simple, guys. Then you have to verify it. Don't overcomplicate it. Just add a forwarding address and make sure that every email that gets sent back to these is getting sent to your main account. Now, the reason why I said you're going to want to unsubscribe to those newsletters before you get started is so that all of those newsletters are not getting sent to your main account.
Yep.
So that's why I said turn it off the newsletters before you actually get started. But the idea here is we're going to forward all these to the main account. On top of that, we're also going to create a Zap that forwards all the responses from that one main email account to a Slack channel for your VA to see. Now, full disclaimer, I literally was thinking for you guys, because I said I'm going to over deliver, how can I make the system even better? So this is not something that I've started to roll out myself, but what I thought is how can I make this process even more efficient for you guys and make it even easier? And this is how. Because before, my VA was literally manually checking every morning and every afternoon for responses, right? We didn't have a Zap doing this. So now I was thinking, what if we created a Zap that forwards all the main responses from this one main account into a Slack channel called All Replies.
Mm-hmm.
So again, hopefully it's not getting too matrixy, but all these emails are sending out, let's say this account sends out 50 emails, this account sends out 50 emails, this account sends out 50 emails, this account sends out 50 emails. All the responses go back to this main account, right? Because you're getting forwarded. And as soon as it hits that main account, it gets sent to a Slack channel.
And that's how you keep everything organized.
Well, this is how your VA can get it immediately, because before, again, our VA was manually logging into this account every morning and every afternoon and sending us the results and sending us the responses. But my whole thing yesterday was how can I deliver for you guys and think about how to make this process even easier so that you guys literally get a response and automatically gets sent to a Slack channel called All Replies. And then what you're going to do is you're going to have your VA take all the positive replies as they come in throughout the day and immediately just take a screenshot and add them to another Slack channel called Positive Replies. And she's going to manually add them here.
There you go.
So this is not automated. This is just kind of your CRM to keep track of all the positive replies. Jeff, did that make sense? Give me a little check. Okay, cool.
Yeah, the brain nuggets are turning and the hamster's going, oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. So again, just going to repeat that one more time. We're going to forward all the responses that come in to one main email account. Then we're going to create a Zap that takes all those responses and sends them to a Slack channel. And that way your VA can get them immediately. She gets them as soon as someone responds. She can see them in the Slack channel. Then if it's just you, you can literally filter it out and see which ones are positive and which ones are negative. But if you have a VA, you can get them to take a screenshot of that and put it in another channel immediately. And that way, you are getting these responses as close to real time as humanly possible.
Yep.
On top of that, we add them to the spreadsheet. So literally my team is still, all they do is add them to the spreadsheet. And then our sales guy checks this every single morning for new replies. But we were thinking, again, last night, how do I make this process even stronger and more efficient? And now we're going to implement it so that the replies get automatically zapped to a Slack channel for my VA, and then my VA can send them to another channel for my team in real time. All right. Hopefully that wasn't too technical. That's probably as deep into the rabbit hole as we're going to go. But let's see, we've got the VA marks positive responses green and other responses red on the spreadsheet. So again, we want to be able to see who replied positively and who replied negatively so that we don't go back and reply to the negatives, right? So the way that my VA does it is, let's say this person responded negatively. He just goes here, marks it red. Let's say this person responded positively, goes here, marks it green.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say this person responded negatively, red. Negative, red, because as they're coming in to her Slack channel, not only does she add the positive replies here, she also adds them to another Slack channel, and she marks them as green or red in this main tab. So that way, if you ever do want to follow up with your list or send out another email, you know to skip those people.
Yep.
Because then literally as you're going, you could just do your 10, copy it, BCC, but then grab these two, copy, BCC, and then skip those, right? Copy, BCC. But the key here is we just want to have a good sense of who responded positively, who responded negatively, so that we never reach out to them again and they don't mark as a spam.
Gotcha.
All right. Did that make sense, Mr. Jeff?
I think so. To the best of my knowledge, as soon as somebody replies from any of the sub accounts, it gets forwarded to the main account. Got it, right? But that's like a horrible way to like keep stuff organized, right? Like email's absolutely the worst thing ever. Ain't gonna work, right? So what you do is you zap it to wherever your best next step is. For the most part, that's a Slack channel. And your suggestion is like you create a sub Slack channel called like all replies. The VAs look at it and then go back to figure out if it's a red or if it's a green. If it's a red, remove it from your master list, never email again, right?
Or actually don't remove it, just mark it, because then if you do continue scraping and you re-add it back.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So you mark it, right? And that way you never email them again.
Correct.
If it's green, you can set up a follow-up or call or take a next step or something like that, right?
If it's green, your VA or you are going to add it to this spreadsheet right here. So if it's positive, it just has the email, the phone number if they provided one. And as you guys can see, most people do.
Yeah.
So you guys asked like, what about the phone number? I mean, as long as you ask for it, most people do. You add the reply here, and then you can also track your follow-ups that you did.
You know what's funny is I just saw, hi, Peter. Where are you from, Peter? And I'm like, I don't know. There's a Peter. Isn't it Joel? Right? Like, but
well, this is one that I set up for someone else.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
His name's Peter. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. That being said, so again, if a positive reply comes in, it's going to be forwarded to your main account, and it's going to be forwarded to the all reply Slack channel. Then you or your VA are going to take a screenshot of that, post it in the other Slack channel. If you want to have another separate channel just for positive replies, you're going to add the information here, and you're going to mark it green on here. That's it. And again, guys, this may feel overwhelming. If you are feeling overwhelmed right now, I totally get it, totally understand. I'm with you guys. That being said, I guarantee that if you watch this multiple times, it will absolutely click.
Yep.
So if any of you guys are like, whoa, this is way a lot of info, you kind of lost me at the scraping section like an hour ago, go back and watch it. And I promise you, if you go on a slower speed, you really just take your time going through this, it will absolutely make sense. because I'm being as crystal clear as possible. So I think maybe it's just the overall quantity of info that may feel like a lot, but I promise you that if you go back and watch it, you will feel good to go.
Yep.
All right. Now, a lot of you guys may be wondering, what is a positive reply? What is a negative reply? At Atlas Digital, we truly believe that a negative reply is literally if someone's like, stop emailing me, go to hell. It's like very negative, right?
Yep.
If someone's just like, what is this? Because a lot of people will be like, what is this? What company are you with? What services is this? Who are you? As long as it's not truly negative and bad, like you can feel like, oh, like that person is not happy about this, it's considered positive.
Yeah.
So again, as you guys can see here, these are all real examples. It's like, yes, yes, yes. And literally we just started. And it's like demo scheduled. So it's like these people are coming through, right? And it's like, even if you're scheduling 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, even 1 out of 7, if you get 70 positive replies in a matter of a week, that's still 7 demo calls for your service.
Yep.
And someone is
I don't know how to turn it off. Like I've been looking for the Zoom bar and it's like, it's disappeared.
But anyways, that's considered positive. That's considered negative.
Yep.
All right. We're almost done, guys. And then I've got a very, very awesome surprise for all of you. Step number 7, we're going to send the scheduling email. So this is a standard message. I don't know if it can get better. I would recommend that you guys test out 2 different scheduling responses. But this is the email we send out to absolutely everyone. And it follows the exact formulas that I mentioned at the very beginning. It's still vague. It still keeps curiosity open. You're still owning the frame. You're not giving them a lot of information. So literally, no matter what, as long as it's a positive reply, the final step is my VA will send all these people that email response.
Oh, now I get it.
And it's sent from the one main account.
Yep.
So all of your responses come from that one main account. What things clicked for you, Jeff?
So now we've got the VA replying, saying, all right, let's take a next step with the calendar, right? So you're not emailing people saying, hey, this is everything that I do. If you're interested, schedule a time. Nope. We're emailing a bunch of people with something that they're interested in. If they reply with something positive, cool. Let's take a next step. Let's figure out a time. And for the most part, once you set up this prospecting engine correctly, all you're doing is you're on this receiving ends of calendar appointments, correct?
Correct. So that being said, again, going back to the very beginning, you still have to call. So This is just to schedule maybe 1 or 2 out of 10.
Yeah.
That's the key. Like by reaching 10 people, 1 or 2 out of 10 will schedule through the link, but your job is still to call.
Correct. Yep.
Don't expect them to then just go book immediately because of that. If you guys want to experiment and try to come up with a better response, I encourage you to do so as long as you follow those 10 commandments. You keep it short. You still keep the curiosity high. You still talk about giving them what they want as opposed to just telling them everything that you do. You still make the barrier pretty low. Like at this point, like they responded, she's like, hey, book on my Calendly. It's still low. You could even do something that we actually used to test out is sending them like a video or like a VSL at this point. And that way, if they actually clicked on it, we would pixel the pixel would fire.
Yep.
But we wouldn't expect them to actually book. The key there was to get them to actually be curious enough to actually click on a link. And that gives us a retargeting audience.
Gotcha.
But this is the main one we send out. Man, I'm like losing the order of these. There's so many white slides. All right. This is the email we send out. Again, I encourage all of you guys to innovate, test things out. This one schedules about 1 or 2 out of 10, but it's simple. It's to the point, vague, curiosity still there. It's still a very low barrier to entry in terms of just pick the best time for you here. And you still are leading the conversation. You haven't lost the frame. All right, we're down to the final step. So the last step is your only goal with this whole entire system, guys, is to get them on the phone and book a qualifying call. And again, if you're expecting to send 500 to 1,000 emails and just get random business owners that have never heard of you, have never even met you, don't even know where this is coming from, to just look at your VSL, book a call, learn all about you, watch all of your testimonials, you have the wrong expectations.
Yep.
And I have personally not met anyone where this worked on a large scale. You know, maybe if you like send them a gift and you do an email follow-up that's like very tailored to that gift that you send them, like maybe, but it's like the only way that I've seen this work at scale is by using this as a system to start a conversation.
Yep.
And resetting your expectation around, hey, cold email, I just send a button, they book a call with me.
Yep.
So they don't know you. It's like if I got an email and it said, hey man, this is what I do, I can do this for you, all that stuff, book a call with me. I know a lot of you guys have gotten those, either from Facebook friend requests, from LinkedIn. How many of you have actually booked a call?
Yep.
Have you, Jeff?
Nope.
So it's like, would you rather do it this way, which is proven to work, or would you rather do it a way where it's like it's the holy grail, but it doesn't actually exist?
Yeah. So let me ask you this. So let's say we get a positive response, right? And somebody's like, yeah, I'm interested. Let's talk. You call them immediately. Do you send them an email? What happens after somebody says, I'm interested?
They get this exact email no matter what.
Gotcha. Okay.
Every single person. That they all get this exact same email.
Yeah.
And if they say, hey, let's talk, I send them that email.
Yeah.
If they say, hey, I'm ready to buy, I send them that email.
Yeah.
And I call them immediately.
Okay. So you do both. You just send the email and you call.
Yes.
God forbid, talking to people who could pay you money. Oh my God. That would be horrible, right? Yeah.
And guys, like, I'm with you. Like it's probably going to be a little uncomfortable at first, but you also have to see this as such an amazing opportunity. And here's why. If you can learn to take control of the power frame, which is the ability to lead the conversation from someone that is cold, then you are going to be able to close pretty much anyone ever.
Yep.
And it's free. So it's like, for all of you guys starting out, this is one of the best ways to just practice sales and practice taking control of the power frame without having to spend money on paid ads, without having to do a lot of the work to actually set everything up. And again, if you can crack the code on it, you'll be set. So just to put things into perspective, any new sales guy that we bring on, they have to, no questions asked, only focus on closing people from cold email before they ever get a paid ad appointment.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they can crack the code on closing people that responded yes from all these conversations that they've started and do it on a consistent basis, they've earned the right to scale and move on to the next level.
Yep. So
for you guys that are just like, I don't want to call, it's uncomfortable, I would reframe that and see it as an amazing opportunity to practice and get better and start conversations so that when you are ready to move on to paid ads or referral systems or influencer partnerships or whatever it is that you're doing that's more advanced, when people do come to you, you're ready to close those people. So again, final step, most important step is to actually call these people, get them on the phone, and book a qualifying call. Now, if they have time for the qualifying call right then and there, we want to take it right there. It's like, oh, you have 3 minutes? Great. Let's chat right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you are on the qualifying call, your only goal at this point becomes taking control of the power frame and pitching them on scheduling a call to walk them through your entire system step by step and give them all the info that they need. Because on this qualifying call, you're going to be like, but what is it? But how much does it cost? Great question, Mr. Doc. What I want to do for you is schedule another call, and I will personally walk you through the entire system, walking you step by step that will help you achieve your goals of X, Y, and Z.
Yep.
All you're doing on these calls is pitching the demo and starting to lead the conversation and take the lead. So the awesome bonus for all of you guys is I'm going to have my sales guy who's closed over 150 clients from my agency.
Yep.
And his record is 117 people in 90 days. I'm going to have him personally send you the script and walk you through the video, because I truly believe from the bottom of my heart that it'll be way more valuable hearing it from him than it'll be hearing it from me, because he's done it way more. He struggled through these calls way more and actually succeeded. And most importantly, he was in the same spot that a lot of you guys are in. The first 4 months, he did not close one person.
Yep.
So the first 4 months that he worked with us, he did not have one sale. We almost let him go. And he hates me for telling the story, but I think it's a very powerful story, and I think it's important for people to hear. And I remember being outside of a restaurant here in Boulder called Southern Sun, and we went out to eat. We got pizza, and then at the very end of dinner, we walked outside, and I remember sitting Omir down, and I said, Omir, if you don't meet your quota and close at least 3 people next month, we're going to have to let you go. And he figured it out. And literally in the past, I don't know, since then, he's closed over 150 clients. So I would much rather you guys hear it from him and see his train of thought and his philosophy on how to actually go from the call to booking the qualifying call than to hear it from me. So there's a little bit of a cliffhanger, but I think it's going to be way more valuable for you guys in the long run.
So he's going to show how to do the qualifying call. Is that correct?
He's going to show you get a positive reply. How do I call and actually book the qualifying call?
Cool. Very, very cool. Good shit.
Jeff, I know I've talked now for like 2 hours almost. Any questions or any points of clarity?
So at no point did I feel that this was so incredibly complex that I couldn't imagine it in my head. Like, create some emails. You can probably do it from your phone. If you can't, have some friends. I understand that. Forward them. Copy and paste. BCC. What emails am I supposed to send? D7 Lead Fighter. Yes, clean it and scrape it. Drop them in there. And BCC. You're going to be doing that 5, 10, 15 times. So you're doing 50 emails a day. And then you're going to stop and do your next email. Where do the replies go? They go to your master account. And guess what? You're going to have to do some green and red system. With the green system, you're going to zap or magic so that on your Google Sheet, you can see who's replied correctly. They get a let's schedule email, and then they get a callback. That's the engine, right?
Exactly. Step by step. Maybe I should have started with that and then like actually explained it, you know?
That's why I always use the squares in the beginnings on my lunch and learns, because I'm like, all right, we're going to do step 1, step 2. Yeah, but I get it.
I like it. Guys, if you're liking this training, your mind is blown, hit me with a 1 in the comments. I want to see a lot of ones. Boom, boom, boom. I like it. I like it. Normally on like Facebook Lives, it's like you just use all the
likes and the hearts. Yeah.
I just do comment hashtag live and then you just blow it up. I wish we could do like, if this gets you this many people, we'll give away something, but it's like you guys already signed up. So I don't know what else there is for you guys to get. Okay, a few final thoughts. As soon as you can, we need to outsource steps 1 through 7 to your VA. You only worry about step 8. So your VA should be able to build an email list, verify that list and add it to the master list, create the accounts, get the email ready to send out and actually send it. Do it with 10 accounts a day, 50 people being reached per account, 500 people being reached per day. Your VA should also do the automations and the forwarding and send the schedule email. And then step 8, call immediately. That's still on you. So that's one of the final thoughts right there. Another thing to keep in mind is this will get you consistent positive replies and appointments, but nailing the sales process is still extremely important. So again, that's going through the qualifying call, going through the demo call, which that's not a part of this masterclass, full disclosure, but you guys will hear from Omir on how to actually go from the positive reply to actually scheduling that initial call. But I want to make it very, very clear, you still need to be good at sales. So just like we tell the clients that when we send them leads, they don't just magically convert.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have that same mindset of like, look, when I get a positive reply, I still have to have my sales process in place to get them to convert. So it's the same expectation that we normally give to clients we need to have on ourselves. And it really helps us shifting that so that we can actually succeed with a system.
Yeah,
and guys, I have a call in 2 minutes. So let me just tell them that I'm going to be like a few minutes behind. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. After this, we're going to go into Q&A and bring it to a close.
Sorry, I don't mean to be doing this right now, but I don't want to be that guy. While this is loading, let me just keep going. No, actually it loaded now. 1 second. I did not think it was going to be 2 hours, so I thought we'd be done. Let's see, I'm still on Facebook Live.
Are you comfortable doing a follow-up next week?
Next week, I am out in California, but definitely be down the week after.
Okay, cool. All right. So let's do this. Let's just jump into Q&A now. I think it'll take us maybe like 4 minutes because most of the questions have already been answered, and then we're going to bring it to a close. Is that okay?
Do you want me to go over this or no?
Oh, yeah, go for it. Yeah.
And I just messaged her, so I have some time. Let's see. Again, guys, quantity all day long. I want all the questions that I got. It's just a sign of the overthinking, and that's okay. I'm not saying that's bad. Again, I used to do the same thing. I'd rather you guys be like, I'm going to get off this and set this up right now and just start sending and see what happens, rather than answer every little question that you need before actually starting.
Yep.
So if you guys are sitting there right now being like, I'm going to wait to get all my questions answered before I start, you're kind of missing the lesson here. The lesson is, let me just literally go as fast as possible, and then over time answer those questions, and I'll have my own answers to those questions that are even better.
Yep.
So take action, guys. That's really important, or else you're not going to get any results, and this is going to be a waste.
Yep.
Like if you guys are all up and running in a week, great fucking job. Like that's freaking awesome. All right. A few more things. It's totally okay to go through a list over and over again. I would just recommend changing the angle very slightly. So what I do with my emails is when I send them out, I have my VA actually mark yes. So it's like, let's say I sent out the 100 for that day and we reached all 100. Then at the end, it says yes right next to it, just so I know that they went out. And if I ever want to hit that list again, I could just go back and keep track of how many emails I've sent them.
Yep.
So for example, let's say you go through all 40,000 people in your niche. You can go back. And continue to message that list and email them. Maybe just change the subject line, a few words in the copy. Just try a different angle. That's all I would recommend.
Very, very cool.
A few more things. This strategy works best for bigger and more untapped niches. Now, we got our start in the chiropractic space, which is extremely competitive and saturated, and it still works. To this day, we still get responses. We still send out 500 emails a day. But I also see people going after more specific niches or more untapped niches, and they get like an insane amount of responses. It'll just be like overwhelming amount of responses.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, like, if you're in a niche that only has 1,000 people, yeah, this is probably not the right strategy for you. So also find niches where you can actually send out 500 to 1,000 a day. Because if you only have 1,000, not only is your market too small, but you're also not able to take full advantage of the system.
Yep.
And if you do have 1,000 people in your niche and that's all there is, maybe just have that as one core of your business and then just add one more niche that's way bigger. So for example, I'm not telling everyone to go into real estate right now, but that is a niche where there's literally millions of realtors and thousands of new realtors are getting generated each day and starting up. So it's like you'll never run out. You can send out emails for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And again, guys, really just want to drive the point home. Most people don't understand the purpose of cold email. It is to start a conversation. It is for me to virtually go up to Jeff and say, hi, I can help you.
Yep.
Let's chat. Not, hi, Jeff. Here's what I'm going to do for you. Facebook ads, SEO, cold, all that good stuff. Here's a link to my VSL. You're going to watch that video. Then you're going to book with me on my calendar on the next page, and I'll also ask you to fill out an application. So we're just starting conversations at scale. And again, warm call, book them in, and voila. There's my masterpiece.
Cool. Well done. Well fucking done. I swear to God, if somebody doesn't become a millionaire because of this masterclass, I'm going to be pissed. Like, great job. Let me take control of the screen, and I'm going to share the Q&A.
Jeff, can I do one final little pitch before we go into Q&A?
Go for it.
Guys, if you enjoyed this masterclass and you're excited to hear the second part from Omir, my sales guy who closed 117 deals in 90 days, please go over to Instagram, follow me, official Joel Kaplan. Jeff, I'm not pitching anything. It's free. I'm going to be dropping even more valuable content on there. So guys, I don't know what you're waiting for. If you want to learn from a true multi-seven-figure agency owner, way more than just cold email, takes literally 10 seconds. I'm going to be dropping a lot of value, and I'm not selling you guys anything. So I feel like that's a fair ask.
Perfect. Very, very cool. We're going to move into Q&A. Do you have a time limit, Joel, I need to be aware of?
She didn't respond back to me, so I guess we're good.
All right, cool.
Let's go to hit the restroom at some point because I had coffee and water, but
perfect. All right.
For now.
So let's go through these in a way that makes sense. Somebody says, what tools do you use to land clients and send emails? You already went over that. What's more effective for throwaway emails, like get more leads with Gmail? We went over that. It's just Jeff Miller 001. Somebody says, how do you collect the emails? We went over that. Best tools to build, went over that. How do you find the business owner's personal email? Joel, you were saying it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter at all. Send more emails. Tom, what's the best way to scrape personal email addresses? Again, that's probably just send more emails. But you also went over the tools. Best scripts along with eye-opening subject lines. What was that subject line to the email that you always send? I think it was like...
The one for Kairos was referrals, but you have to figure out what people want in your niche. So
that's the desire, right?
Yeah. So if it's like in the real estate niche, it's maybe like luxury buyer.
Gotcha. Most cost-effective, went over that. How do you qualify any leads from cold emailing before the actual appointment? Your philosophy is like, just call them, right? Don't even bother.
My philosophy is like, if you guys want to use a free method, like you again, this idea that you're going to be able to qualify them and they're going to go through a VSL and you're going to send them testimonials before they actually show up doesn't exist.
Yep.
And that's why no one is getting results that way. And that's why you guys are here, right? Because I'm sure, including myself, all of us have tried that strategy of like sending them a VSL and sending them to a funnel and trying to qualify them before they even book. But for cold email, assume that they're cold, right? That's why it's called cold email.
Gotcha. Jordan says how to outsource the roles to VA. You went over that. Just have them do all that stuff.
We have one VA that all they do is prospecting stuff. And once you build the systems, this should not take longer than an hour a day.
Yeah.
Like they could just knock this out an hour a day, Monday through Friday, 5 days a week, 2,500 emails per week, 10,000 emails per month.
And then you just need 1% of those to respond and you've got your big ass agency done very, very quickly. Jason says, do you have to warm up the IP address or domain? I think you do that by subscribing and emailing back and forth, right?
Correct.
Cool. Tal says, are there any email templates for beginners, no case studies or book free trials? Joel, I don't think you even bothered like trying to have a case study conversation. You just get them on the phone, right?
Correct. That being said, I'm sure a lot of you guys know J.R. Rivas. He's one of my best friends and he's just a beast for getting people from like 0 to 10K. And he's got some really, really amazing emails for trials. And again, the power, yes, the template works. And the power is in that I've given you a system that you can use to send out thousands.
Yep.
So it's like you can easily just test out a new template for a week, test it out on 2,500 people and see if it works. So if you have a template that you want to try out for free trials, go for it.
Gotcha. Deepak says, what's the best way to scrape quality emails? Just scrape more emails. Variety of subject lines. We went over that. Essentially put your desire in there. How do you split test different subject lines? You split test the desire. And which email service provider is best for cold emailing? Well, we went over that as well. Ankish says, best practices and scripts for converting email conversations to actual appointments. Showed him. Tell you what, Joel, we didn't even look at this before you made the slides and you knocked him out of the park. How to pique interest by sharing case studies, value videos. Don't. Ankish says, low-cost sources for emails. Showed you. Ryan says, what to say after there's a response, such as converting them. Tell you what, I don't think there's anything we didn't actually cover. Oh, here we go. Are you using proxy VPNs? Not really. You just have the person where they set it up, right?
Yeah, like I said, we tried to do that, and it was too much of a headache. And it's like you can get away with it by just following the rule of accounts you create, you send from, accounts your VA creates, they send from.
What about when people go silent? They say, yes, I'm interested, and they don't respond or pick up the phone. What happens then?
Dude, I thought I had a whole section on follow-up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have Omir tackle that in the video.
Cool.
He's like a follow-up fiend, so you guys will hear all about it, I'm sure.
Perfect. So Abdullah, you're covered. Are you using primary at Gmail? Yes. What software do you use for follow-up sequences? We didn't go over that. That's kind of like outside of scope, correct?
I don't actually like to follow up through this system. So I follow up with text, email, call, but the email is from just like your personal business. And Omir can talk a little bit about that. The reason why is because let's say someone did not like your email and they did not respond, and you follow up and now you're starting to get on their nerves and they mark you as spam. Yeah, that all adds up to you getting blocked. So we actually don't do any actual follow-ups from these emails. Can you go up one more? Again, I want to just be super clear. Do not start with Gmail. Start with Outlook, Hotmail, Yahoo, some of like the lesser known accounts, just because Gmail's being a little funky right now.
Gotcha. Chris says, how are you keeping track of all the replies? You mentioned the Zapier Slack setup, and then all the replies are taken care of. So we're good. And apparently Chris realized that you forwarded it to one inbox. Perfect. Somebody else says, are you using sending software or having your VA manually send? You're just manually sending.
Correct.
Ankish says, what kind of business should our potential clients be running that would successfully send appointments off email? I don't think I understand that. But maybe he's saying like good niches to go after, and essentially your best niche is whoever's going to pay you money.
Dude, I have no idea. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know either. Abdullah says, and do you use personal email such as your Gmail? Correct. Don't use your agency email or anything like that. Just use your personal at Gmail. When responding to positive responses, are you sending a calendar link in the first message? Went over that. Your best thing is just to call them.
But we do send that templated response. So.
Correct. You send the email and then you call them.
Correct.
David says, how do you get them? We showed him that.
Don't be like, oh, I sent the email. I don't have to call. Let's wait and see. Don't do that.
Correct.
Don't wait a minute. Don't wait for them to book. Just pick up the phone.
There was somebody said, like, don't be a millennial in your outbound approach.
There
right?
you go. I like it.
Chris says, when following up to positive responses, do you space them out? Like, what happens? Do you have to keep emailing them again and again? Like, what if somebody says yes and then they don't schedule or pick up the phone? But that's Omir, right?
I mean, I can just touch on it very quickly. Like, Omir's follow-up strategy is very, very, very aggressive day 1, day 2, and day 3. Then 1 week later, 2 weeks later, 30 days later. The first 3 days, he calls, emails, texts. He also calls back to back, so they actually get 2 calls. And he also calls from a separate cell phone number. So we use something called SalesMate that allows you to pick a new phone.
Oh, cool.
And a lot of the times they just pick up. He repeats that day 1, day 2, day 3, and then he lightens up the follow-up after that.
Perfect.
But again, these are like, just like you're sending your clients leads and whatever it is you're recommending them, it's a very similar process. It's like you're generating leads that said, hey, I'm going to give you my email, phone number, and say I'm interested for you to give me a call.
Perfect. Well, ladies and gents, that was the cold emailing masterclass taught by Joel Kaplan.
I think 2 hours, guys.
Like, well fucking done, Joel. Like, absolutely fantastic. So what Joel showed you today was the prospecting engine behind a Facebook ad agency, then went from $0 to $65,000 a month without spending any money on ads. Later on they did, but $0 to $65K was just cold emailing. And if anybody here is like sub $65K, just do this, and then you can start doing paid ads. What we showed you was another real life Facebook ads agency owner that gets 3 to 5 appointments every single week. I think Joel's up to 10 to 15 or maybe even 20 a week. But more importantly, you guys can do the same exact thing and get results from future clients all across the country without meeting them in person or bugging them with cold calls. And we showed you how to set the whole thing up, what you should be saying to people so they show up, and how to do it so it runs automatically. More so, Joel, you're going to have Omer talk about what to do with the follow-up, how to get them on the phone, and all that fun stuff.
He was supposed to be on today, but he had some things come up. So I was like, just record a video, and I think people will be more than happy with that. So.
Perfect. And I'll just drop it in the group chat, and then we'll be good. Also, you're comfortable doing a 30-minute follow-up in about 2 weeks from now, correct?
Yes, not next week. The following week.
Very cool. Ladies and gentlemen, you're probably wondering what's next. Well, you're going to get a replay of this event and slides by Monday. Try to keep the group chat like somewhat kosher until then, because we all get notifications every time somebody does a thumbs up. So try not to do that too often. You should be following Joel on @officialJoelKaplan with his Instagram handle.
Guys, I only got like 50, so I'm going to be coming after you guys and removing you from my friends list. And then all the times I drop incredible value, I'm just going to be thinking about you guys.
Yes, so, he has the list. He knows who didn't.
I'm just kidding, guys. But seriously, if you want next level value from a 7-figure agency owner, go ahead and follow me super quickly. It takes 2 seconds.
Perfect. So. And I do want to say, from my heart of hearts, if you genuinely feel like this can honestly open up new opportunities to help you to grow and scale your agency, just go back into the public group and comment in the Agency Scaling Secrets group. I'm not giving you a script. I'm not giving you a testimonial. I'm not giving you a ethical bribe. This is on you. If you genuinely feel like this helped you move towards your goal and help move towards your agency, just comment in the public group and let everybody know how valuable this live event was to leveling up you and your agency. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Joel, any last comments?
Should we answer? I don't know if she got back to me. So it's like I can hang out for another 5 minutes or so if you want.
You got it. I think we're going to get, oh man.
We have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Those are all the, oh my goodness.
All right. So let's see. Chris says, is the email to put in the 2 section for each email being sent from the other accounts? Oh, this was a good question. When you're replying with email number 2 that says, hey, schedule, is that coming from your main account or your sub-email account?
It's coming from the main account. That way your VA or yourself can just reply. Because again, all the responses are getting sent to that one main account. So you can quickly see, oh, this one was positive, reply.
Gotcha.
And then something I didn't mention is we use Streak.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the exact website is and I can't share, but we use Streak to have the template ready to go. And you can literally do a little symbol where you press like -F or cold email, and it literally populates the entire email with a subject line.
So it is Streak for Gmail, this thing right here, right?
Correct. So that allows you to create templates so that literally you could just be like, you can save a template where it's like, as you're creating a new email, all you have to write is like -cold email, and it just populates the template.
Gotcha.
So then we do that for both the response and the main email we send out.
Very cool. Another question came in that says, why did you say it sent from iPhone? Does that matter at all? Is there a reason for it?
Guys, we tested it out and it seemed to have greater responses. So again, my recommendation to you guys is to take the frameworks, innovate on it, see if you can make it better. Like I said, we got a lot of people just giving us their office number. So then we added cell phone.
Yeah.
Based on one of my students' recommendations. And we started getting a lot of cell phone numbers. So again, take the framework and see where you can innovate on it and make it even better.
Juan says, do you recommend a pre-qualification call before the pitch? The answer is yes, right? When you're doing the pre-qual call, right? It's just 3 minutes and it's just, what questions are you asking? Or is that for Omer?
That's more for Omer, but the goal is like, if they have time, if you get them on the phone and they have time, you want to jump right into that qualifying call.
Gotcha.
Like the actual script where you ask them like, how are they currently getting new patients or new heating jobs, all that good stuff. Great. How many do you want to be getting per month? Like all that good stuff, finding the gap and then pitching the demo. If they don't have time, then you schedule a call where you're going to go through those questions. Gotcha.
When you're on the phone doing a pitch, this is a done for you service, not a course, correct?
This is right here with you guys, and I mean, I do offer a more advanced course that goes into the sales component where it literally teaches you everything that you need to go all the way to the demo, which is a little bit more advanced.
Yep.
How to actually go through the intro and qualifying call. But when I spoke with Jeff, the idea here is like, how do we get people from cold email to actually book their first initial call?
So Sarah meant when, like, let's say we do this, right? And we get the chiropractor on the phone. This is done for you Facebook ads, correct?
No, we never, as I said, we never, ever, ever, ever go into the services on the phone. We pitch. After we take them through the qualifying call, we pitch, hey, let's get on a demonstration where I will personally walk you through my entire system that will help you reach your goals of X, Y, and Z, of 100 patients a week, of 30 cooling jobs for AC units next month.
Gotcha.
When can we schedule a 60-minute block for me to be able to actually personally walk you and give you all the info you need to make the best decision for you?
Gotcha.
Then they say, great. And I'm sure Omir can talk about this, but then they say, great. And then you say, awesome. The only thing that I ask before that call, this is a huge golden nugget, which is a little teaser as part of like the other course that goes into more of the sales mindset strategy. We say, great, let's get you scheduled for next Wednesday at 3 p.m. I'm going to walk you through the entire system. The only thing that I ask before the call is that, are there any other decision makers with you that would want to see this information? And the reason why I ask is because if you do want to move forward, I can block out your area and hold it as an exclusive area right then and there. So if all decision makers aren't there, then I'm going to have to keep your area open. And if someone else that I'm talking to in your area wants to move forward, it's going to have to go to them. So that's the first thing.
Yeah, that's good.
And the other way to avoid no-show is to say, look, what I'm also willing to do for you is to go ahead and just block out and reserve your area and all these patient referrals for you before the demo call. It would just mean a lot if you actually come to the actual appointment that we blocked off, and I can go ahead and hold that area for you. And just by planting that seed and setting that expectation, a lot of people end up showing up. So
very, very cool. ED says, I guess
after you've been rambling for 2 hours, it's like, I'm like, am I even saying the right thing?
This is how I felt at my lunch and learns. Like after a while, like my mouth doesn't work for much.
I know. Yeah. It's awesome. I'm loving it.
Ed says, don't you have people asking where are the referrals after the first email, or not really?
Yeah. And then you call them and start a conversation and say, well, great. I mean, you said you could handle these referrals, right? Perfect. Well, before we actually start talking about how this works, I'd love to ask you a few quick questions. Do you have 3.5 minutes right now?
Yeah, gotcha.
So Omir will talk about how to take control of the frame.
Yeah.
And just kind of take it back so that they're not the ones asking you all these subtle questions.
Yeah.
And this is also why I said it's extremely important that you guys nail cold email, because if you do, then whenever you do start getting referrals and paid ads, it's going to be way easier. So
very cool. Chris says, if they didn't give their number, how are you calling them? I guess you just look it up or whatever, right?
You look it up. If not, as you guys saw in that one example, that he's gotten like 50 responses and it's been a week. So it's like, whatever, there's 5 that didn't respond with their phone number. Just move on to the next.
Juan says, what was that university script? Is it just like, remember, like you work at you're at a university conducting customer research to figure out their biggest desire, right?
Yeah. Just be like, just kind of go into a more of a timid tone and be like, hi, yeah, my name is Joel and I'm a business major here at University of Colorado. And for my marketing class, I'm running a research paper. And for the marketing class, I need to interview 10 HVAC business owners.
Yeah. Just
to ask them a few questions. Do you know if the owner is around and maybe he can help me with this?
And then they say, we feel sorry for you. Sure thing.
It's pretty genius and kind of fucked up, but whatever.
Perfect. I used to do the same actual thing in business school, by the way. And I still kind of do it today. Faizan says, what was emails 2 through 5? That's not really covered. We can't show you that type of stuff. Jordan says, how big is your team, Joel? I think that's 10 people, correct?
Wait, what do you mean that was email 2 through 5?
Yeah. So you had like email 1 and you sent everybody an email, and then there's email 2, 3, 4, 5, right?
it's just once you've sent everyone, if you want to just start back at the top, that's just a way for you to see how many emails you've sent out, and you can rinse the list and repeat. What I would recommend is slightly switching up the message. So if you said bike shop, like the Argon 18 sales, maybe you could say Argon
19 sales.
Yeah, or like that's good. Like bike shop customers. I don't know, something like that.
It's not like a soap opera sequence or something like that.
No. And it's not drastically different. It's just like, hey, let's just switch it out and resend again. Someone kept saying, which picture should we put? Put your personal picture. Just do one that's not like, obviously you're in a suit and you're a marketing agency owner.
Yeah, gotcha.
Someone also said, if you buy aged accounts, won't the IP matter when you send the emails? That's a great question. I'm fairly sure you can actually select all that information and where the accounts were from. So just do your research and buy from an account seller that seems legit and can tell you where the IP is from.
Gotcha.
Also, they're going to be way more aged. So I think maybe they'll be more okay with it than if you literally just created the accounts the day before and start sending out 500 emails.
Gotcha. Jordan says, are you warming up the call with any results or book calls? Nope. Just making it more complicated for ourselves. Just go to the gym a lot, right? Sarah Rose Stunner says, but with the demo, you're doing Facebook ads for them. You're not selling them like a program or gotcha. Okay. All right.
I truly believe that if you explain everything that you offer and it's crystal clear what they're signing up for, your retention will actually go up because there's no buyer's remorse.
Yeah.
And it's crystal clear in their mind what it is that you're offering them and how it is that you're going to help them. So I actually have tested out like a one-call close in the agency space, like some of the other gurus teach. But the problem is then your retention goes down because people are like, I don't even know what I signed up for. This sounded amazing. It sounded like you were going to solve all my problems. But I'm like, it's just Facebook ads. Whereas if they go into it with, I know I'm getting Facebook ads. I know I'm getting like an online course to help me figure out how to crack these Facebook ads and get them in the door and convert them. And you're also going to throw in a few bonuses. Like, let's do it. If you actually get someone to say yes to that, they're going to be a better client. They're going to be much happier with you and they're going to stay a lot longer. So yes, once you get them on the demo call, I truly believe it's in your best interest to show them exactly what they get.
Very cool. Joel, I think I
need to go to the bathroom pretty soon.
Yeah. Well done. Good job, everybody. Use this, make some money. Replays are coming later. Joel, go kick some ass, take some names. See you guys later. Enjoy your weekend. Bye.
If you found this video valuable, what I'd love to do is invite you to like the video, comment your biggest takeaway below, or if you have any questions, ask them below in the comments, and subscribe for more videos just like this. With that in mind, I'll see you guys on the next video, and we'll talk soon.